Chiefs fans have had enough, and they want some coaches fired. Let's talk about that. Woo-hoo-hoo! Chiefs Kingdom got that ass beat today, 26-9 by the freaking Titans, baby. That monster team over there in Nashville has been kicking ass all season. Just tore the Chiefs apart. Mike, it's rough watching all these backups play. It was rough watching Gardner Minshew go down right after Patrick Mahomes went down. And it was really rough not seeing some of the players we wanted to see play. And we'll talk about all that and more. But first, let's shout out DraftKings for sponsoring tonight's live stream.
Christmas is right around the corner, and you've been in the giving spirit. So now it's time to give a little back to yourself. We've teamed up with DraftKings Sportsbook to bring you an offer so that you can treat yourself this Christmas season by downloading the app today. DraftKings Sportsbook has all your favorite ways to bet touchdowns this NFL season, and now you can experience the game as a fan even further with dynamic odds that move with the game and more open live betting markets more often. So don't wait. Download the DraftKings app today. Get in on the action and sign up using our promo code ACU. With DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Go to your app store, download it, use the promo code ACU. We would appreciate that. Mike, the Titans are a powerhouse. They're a beast. Cam Ward is the best player of all time. No, seriously. Pretty disappointed with what product the Chiefs managed to put on the field today. I think everybody is. I think we can all agree with that. You guys get in the chat and let me know. And, yeah, we'll cry and we'll whine all night, you know. We had 9 years of fantasticness, and that means that we all want to go back to being losers like we were for the previous 40 years, right? But anyway, let's talk about it a little bit. We were just hoping, like, I already knew. I said this on the video before the game. Chiefs are going to tank. They're not going to try to win these games. I don't care what Andy says. I don't care what Chris Jones says. They're not trying to win these games. They're not going to do it. But to not even use the time or the game situation to try out some of your rookies, like Jeffrey Boss at linebacker, especially with Leo out of the game, to not get more snaps for Brashard Smith, more carries for Brashard Smith, not get Jalen Royals involved. Like, they didn't do shit but get beat to death by the Titans.
No, absolutely. That's the most annoying part of the whole thing. As all season long, it's stubbornness from the coaching staff. It's ineptitude. They've not ran a tight ship. They've not had these guys in physical and mental spaces where they need to be. They've been penalized all year long. Dave Tobe, that entire special teams unit has been crap all year.
Yeah,
Spags has been horrible at putting people in the right situations, personnel problems. Andy Reid in that offense. If you couldn't watch that game for 5 minutes today and see that Patrick Mahomes has covered up the ineptitude of this offense for the past 3, 4, 5 years, maybe since the entire time he's been in the league.
Quite possibly.
Like, today's game pretty much tells you that Patrick Mahomes made Andy Reid, not the other way around. I don't care what anybody says. Like, you're just wrong if you think there's any other way that is. And honestly, I think that Patrick Mahomes, since day one, has been able to accomplish what he has with a inept franchise that doesn't really know their asshole from their elbow half the time, I don't think. You've seen it all year long. And I'll tell you what else. He's done this in spite of the Chiefs front office and that coaching staff, because I believe that he's covered up the Connor Embry hire. He's covered up the Matt Nagy hire for 3 years, and we can all still see it was falling apart. And last year we were saved, because the team kept finding a way to win. But these were the same glaring problems we had last year. And then today, Andy Reid has a chance to go out, and we get a chance to look at the future in a game that doesn't mean nothing. You got to go out and you want to see Noah Williams. Nope, we're going to play Christian frickin' Fulton. Right. Over Noah Williams all day. Jeffrey Boston. Nope, we got to look at Jack Cochran, who shouldn't even be on this frickin' team. After 7 minutes of game time today, Jack Cochran had already flubbed up 2 or 3 different plays. This dude should not even be playing. Chamari Connor would not be on another roster in America right now, and that probably includes frickin' the CFL, and well, that's Canada, but
North America.
That probably includes the frickin' NCAA. This dude would be lucky to be on an SEC roster at this point, probably. He stinks. And we
Yeah.
didn't get to see any of it. You didn't get to see Brashard Smith. You didn't get to see Jalen Royals. You name it. They squandered it. And all they wanted to do was audition a bunch of free agents next year that they can't re-sign. It was the Isaiah Pacheco show all day long, as if we needed to watch more Pacheco. They already said he wasn't even in the plans for next year. Why is he out there? But Andy, being a player's coach, he's got to go out and put these guys on display so they can get their next job.
Yeah, man, just tons of stuff that we're going to get to talking about. Guys, appreciate y'all being here, by the way. A little bit of a therapy sesh, if you will. You guys say whatever you're thinking in the chat, and we'll get to you guys, and obviously we're going to just spill what we're thinking too. But real quick, just hit the like button for us if you don't mind. That'd be awesome. Let's try to get some more people in here. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you need to do that. We're the #1 independent Chiefs channel on YouTube, baby. So get in on that action. Hit that sub button. But yeah, we'll talk about that. It's funny because this was literally worse than watching a preseason game. Because at least like when you're watching a preseason game, you're like, well, it's preseason. Like we got the whole season ahead of us. This is just some scrubs playing. Like, dude, this was like that, but it was just dirty feeling. Like you wanted to go take a shower after watching this crap.
There wasn't that many players not playing on our defense. But yet you had Cam Ward, who I get it, he's the #1 pick, but this dude had the lowest percentage of passes completed over 10 yards all season long. The dude hadn't won a game at home all year. He's been horrible. People's been talking about he's a bust, everything else. He comes out, lights us on fire. We're getting beat by frickin' Tony Pollard in the running back room.
Tajay Spear don't even have any ACLs.
We're getting beat up by a guy that don't have ACLs. Chim Dike, a draft pick that I said maybe we should watch out for last year at the end of it because he had set the combine on fire with his 40 time. But this dude comes out and just completely just rips us up. Like this team I swear, I don't know what I'm watching anymore.
Well,
this team looks as bad as it did during the Todd Haley years, the Herm Edwards offensive years. You can go back to the Gunther Cunningham offensive years. It looks the Romeo Crennels. It's ridiculous how bad this team looked. This is a team that honestly we're in the middle of a dynasty and we just got beat by a 2-win team, Titans team. And you could say we tanked, but you didn't see any of the young guys out there tanking. I see all the veterans and all the free agents out there and still couldn't beat this lowly Titans team.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, that's what's crazy is you got back some of your O-line, right? Like obviously we're missing some tackles and stuff, but like Trey Smith was back. Great Humphrey was out there. I mean,
Kingsley was out there.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, like, here's the thing about it. We can talk about how bad the coaching's been, and it's been bad. Yeah, but we also have to take a big look at Brett Veach and look at the depth of this roster, and just like, dude, it's trash from top to bottom, and it's just sad. Like you said, I don't think we've seen a team this bad. Well, we really haven't. We haven't seen a team this bad since like 2012. I think that's the last year that we had a losing season when we went like 2-14. And then of course Andy came in, I think in 13 and everything kind of took a turn for the better. But dude, that's what's crazy is you got a guy that supposedly turned the entire franchise around and made us a winning franchise, set a good culture. I think what happened was Andy didn't implode as fast because they drafted Patrick Mahomes halfway through that. Right. So Patrick Mahomes came in and he covered up a bunch of the garbage like you talked about. And he's been doing it so damn much. And they kept pushing their luck with it. And they kept taking advantage of it to the point to where they broke him. He had a terrible season for all intents and purposes. Like, obviously, if you look at the stats, it's like he still had a pretty good year. I think he was literally like the only quarterback in football this week that had over 3,000 yards passing and 400 rushing. Like, I think Josh Allen might have caught up with that this week. So, I mean, it wasn't having a bad year, but I mean, it's been bad. But, like, they broke Patrick Mahomes. He hasn't looked himself in 2 years. And now he's trying to recover from an ACL and a LCL tear because they couldn't even protect him. And he's trying to do too much.
Dude, I hate just beating a dead horse.
Do it.
But I think we really have to start looking at Andy Reid. I already
said this.
Look, I don't think it's like, look, I understand that he has earned the right to have a bad season. And I'm not saying that you fire him immediately or whatever else. I think there's a lot that goes into this. I really do. But we've said it time and time again, and I don't think it's crazy to say it, that he has to be on the hot seat. And one of the reasons is he's the one that has the final say on guys that we draft. He's the one that has the final say that guys that make the team. He's the one that has the final say on all the play calls we run, on all the game scripts that we have, on all of our personnel decisions, on all of our backups down to the third string. You don't think if Andy really wanted Esapole to be on this team, he would have been on this team? But no, he went, and we got lucky to get him back. And it's just been blunder after blunder after blunder. And I don't think it's crazy to say that Andy Reid at 68, 69 years old has just lost a little bit of it. And I don't think it's that he's lost it as in he could never do it. Like he's just old and decrepit. He can't think right. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I think his offense and his offensive scheme is as stale as 3-month-old bread, okay? And it has been completely – you want to talk about certain people getting crushed? I think this new defensive – too high safety shell crap that we've seen take over the NFL over the past few years that people's called they want it banned because it's making the offenses look bad. I think it's crushed not only Patrick Mahomes, but it crushed the Andy Reid offense, and Patrick Mahomes was a part of it. That's what I think happened. That too high safety has completely made this offense look elementary at best. It is horrible. And even Patrick Mahomes, during all of this run, he doesn't do it through the offense. Patrick Mahomes is always winning games and he's at his best when the play breaks down and he gets to the outside and uses his skills. It's nothing to do with Andy Reid. Andy Reid right now, people want to say he's the greatest offensive mind in history. He's the greatest offensive mind in history. You can never fire him. Before Patrick Mahomes, he had 0 Super Bowls, ladies and gentlemen. He was ranked 14th in passing DVOA for his entire career without Patrick Mahomes. He had more top 8 defenses than he did offenses coaching before Patrick Mahomes. Okay? Not to mention he couldn't manage a game right, and he couldn't do anything right in the playoffs. Couldn't do clock control, couldn't do this, couldn't do that. I'm not dogging on Andy Reid, but Andy Reid is not what made Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has made Andy Reid. And the people that think that Andy Reid is just this irreplaceable guy, and that nobody's going to want to come here and coach Patrick Mahomes, you're out of your freaking mind.
That's wild. That's wild. I think people would kill for a chance to coach.
And shout out at Gandalf staff for putting that up on X. I wish I could have put it on the screen for you, but I don't have time to do it. But shout him out too, because he's been kind of preaching all year long on X over there that maybe Andy's slipping a little. And I mean, I think everybody's got a point right now.
Yeah. Shout out Gandalf over there. That's
Gandalf staff over there, baby.
Daryl Sparks with the 5 bomb says, is there anything we can take away from this game? And also, why didn't we play the rookies? So anything we can take away from this game? The only thing you can take away from this game is negative stuff, in my opinion. I don't think there's anything positive that you can gain.
Can you think of one positive? Like one single solitary positive. Can you think of it? Even Butker missed a field goal again.
Did he really? Did I miss that?
You did. He missed. It was like a 51-yarder. He pushed it wide right.
Good Lord, I was going to say Butker too.
No.
Jeez.
Well, I mean, look, it was a 50-plus yard field goal. You ain't hitting all those, but
Yeah,
with all of his struggles he's had this year, you didn't need that today too. So
Good
yeah,
grief,
Butker,
son.
he chipped in with
Pretty
his
bad.
usual.
So anything that you can take away, what you can take away from this game is just that the Chiefs minus Patrick Mahomes is garbage. Like, he covers up a lot of stuff. Other thing you could take away from that is Brett Veach has built this roster very poorly. There's no depth, and it's just not very good. Has he hit on a few draft picks here and there? Yeah. Have some of the guys fanned out? Yeah. But I think overall, it's just not a strong roster. It's not as strong as we thought it was at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, we thought this was one of the most talented rosters the Chiefs were going to field. But again, I still believe a lot of it was just covered up by Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes literally covered up. He could cover up how bad the defense was.
Well, Mike, that's another thing. You were going on and on and on about Andy Reid. I don't want to give a pass to Steve Spagnuolo either. I love him, and I think he's a great defensive coordinator. I think our defense has actually been like a high point for the Chiefs in the last several years, right? It's been nice having a good defense for Patrick Mahomes. His scheme change to this zone shit, dude, it's unreal.
Dude, he's been doing
like,
more
I don't
and
know
more
what
zone
he's
every
doing with
year.
that. Dude, Alec Ailmanor tore up his zone today. Okay, like that's what we're talking about. Like that zone defense is trash. And also, if you're gonna have people on the field like Chamari Connor, you deserve to get your ass beat. Like make some good decisions.
We have seen the same inconsistencies on third down where a tight end gets behind our zone.
For years.
Yes, it's been years. You've seen it today. On the first drive, Gunnar Helm catches one. There's nobody around him. And if his little tippy toe, if he would have cut his toenail last night, he was in bounds, okay? So we got a Isaiah Likely scenario right there. But how many times can we do this? Like all he's done has decided he's got to blitz to create pressure. He's got to do this. He's got to do that. Look, I don't get it. Like he's went away from Jaden Hicks this year after Jaden Hicks. Everybody thought he was going to have a breakout season. That was the common knowledge throughout all of Chiefs Kingdom, all offseason, was that Jaden Hicks was going to have a big year. And he continues. Even today, he got a penalty on special teams. Big deal. He showed a little bit of fight. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Is he supposed to lay down and get his ass whooped like everybody else did? Because nobody else even looked like they cared.
Yeah. Not putting him on the field more this year was crazy, especially the reasons that Spags gave because of Chamari Connor.
Without Leo Chanel playing
completely...
today. Oh, and that's another thing, too. Leo Chanel should be one of the top 2 priorities of signing back.
Yeah.
Because you could see today when he wasn't on the field, the run game and stopping the run game was not there. There was nobody on defense that is a better tackler than Leo Chanel. He should be on this team next year. He should be a starting linebacker. Drew Tranquil can pack his bags. Jeffrey Bossa should have been out on the field today. And Jack Cochran shouldn't have been out there today. We already know what Jack Cochran is. He's a backup at best and a special teams guy. But Jeffrey Bossa, we spent a nice little draft pick on. Let's go see what we got there in case we may have to get another one. Or do we have to go to the free agency market? But no. And can I tell you something? The last time Jeffrey Bossa played was versus the Washington Commanders, Steve. He played 5 snaps. Do you want to know what his PFF score was for coverage and for defense total?
I don't even want to know.
You would have thought he was horrible and he just didn't get any more snaps. No, he rated a 99.9. And Spags was like, well, he don't know what the hell he's doing. Let's set him out for the rest of the season. What are we doing?
Yeah, and then he asked why we didn't play any of the rookies. Literally to stick with the theme of the season that the coaches are completely mentally inept and they have no idea.
Why couldn't Jalen Royals got some snaps today?
That's the only reason there. I can't figure it out. Daryl also with another 5 bomb says, you guys are the coaches. Who do you cut and who do you keep as coaches? Man, I was looking at a list, Mike, and I wish I had it in front of me. It was all the guys that are coming up on contracts. And it's amazing when I really look at it. There was hardly any of them I even wanted back.
Are you talking about the players, like players coming up for free agency?
Yeah, the only ones I really saw in there that really made me want to be like, yeah, we have to get him back was Leo Chanel. Like,
well, let's look at defense for a second.
I can't even remember who else was on it.
Let's look at defense for a second. Out of the defensive line, would you bring back Mike Dana?
No.
Would you bring back Charles Omenihu?
Hell no.
Would you bring back Jerry Tillery?
No.
Probably not. Would you bring back Mike Pennell or Derek Nottie at this point? I think Mike Pennell's getting a little too old.
Yeah, I'm on no on both of
and
those.
Derek Nottie sucks. So there's 5 right there just on the defensive line. That's not even counting how bad.
That's just telling you how bad our defensive line was this year, right?
That's not even counting how bad Felix Udike-Uzomah was before he got injured. Like, we've been begging to have him back. That's how bad we stink. Go to the linebackers. Should we have Jack Cochran anywhere near this roster?
No, go away.
Should Drew Tranquil be on the team next year? Probably not.
No, he hasn't earned it.
Go to the safety position. I would cut Chamari Connor's ass next year.
Yeah, Brian Cook was another one I think that we should retain.
You can retain him, but you could do better than Brian Cook.
You can, but I don't think you're going to have to pay him much to retain him. But I mean,
okay.
His play in this last season
his numbers
was
are right.
great.
Okay, go out to the corner room. You got to bring, like, McDuffie's under contract next year. I know it's been a talking point that they could trade McDuffie, but if you think about it, you could get one more full year out of McDuffie and then hit him with the 5th-year option and then trade him.
And if anyone thinks you're going to get 2 first-round picks for Trent McDuffie, you're high.
I think you could be a little high there, but here's what I'm saying. You can still do the tag trade option with McDuffie or the 5th-year option trade, but next year I think he's still under contract, right? He's only been in the league 3 years. So
yeah. I mean, Jalen Watson,
or is it 4?
honestly,
I'm so old, I can't even keep up anymore.
It's whatever. It'll be his 5th year next year. But Jalen Watson is another one I want to talk about.
Yeah.
There were times where I was like, man, we could just keep Jalen Watson instead of McDuffie, and I don't even think that's a thing now. I'm tired of watching him get cooked.
Are
to be
you
quite honest
keeping
about
Christian Fulton? Boy, did
No,
you have
hell
fun watching
no.
him today?
Hell no.
He's the Chiefs' leading tackler today. You want to know what that tells me? He can't stop nobody.
Dude, that guy's garbage.
He just watched everybody catch
The fact that he was on the
passes.
field today while everybody else on the roster was hurt was kind of comical, wasn't it? It's like he's not
Yeah.
played all year.
That's what I'm saying. Steve, we just did an exercise with the defense, and we got rid of probably 12 players.
Yeah. It's
And
rough.
if you go to the offense, I don't think Hollywood should be back next year. I like Hollywood, but he doesn't fit in this offense right.
They
don't use him
really.
properly.
Yeah.
I don't think Juju should be back next year. He's done. He's stumped today.
Pacheco can go.
Pacheco's going to be gone. Dude, you name it.
Juwan
Juwan
Taylor.
Taylor's probably gone.
Yeah.
Adios, amigos.
Adios.
I'm just telling you, man.
Okay, it's bad. It's bad. But let's talk about the coaches real quick. And we said this 1,000 times, and I think I'm going to stick with this. Andy Reid, although he does get a little bit of grace for what he's done for the Chiefs, we're going to give him next year, but he's on the hot seat for next year. Make it happen. Fix this shit. I don't ever want to see anything like it again.
I think there would be a caveat for me, too, if I'm Clark Hunt. Do I say you get one more year, but you got to make some coaching changes? You're not coming back with the same bullshit you just put out.
That's what I was getting to, baby. Like, you got to do better than this. We can't see this again. So, that offense is ass cheeks. Okay? Andy, what you're going to do is you're going to wipe out, you're going to gut that entire offensive coaching staff, and you're going to fix it. You're going to bring in somebody new. You're going to bring in different people. And I don't want to see anyone from your past unless their name is Eric Bieniemy, and I'll give you a pass on that one. But if it's Doug Peterson, if it's this guy or that guy or whoever, I don't want them. We don't want anyone from the past. And as far as Brett Veach goes, he can be in on the conversation too if I'm Clark Hunt. And I'm like, hey, and we're not re-signing any of our pieces of shit that we let go. Like, we're not bringing back another McCole Harb and another Derek Nottie. Can we please move the F forward and get some real good football players? Because this is getting ridiculous, bro. So, yeah, I mean, they've got to dig their head out of the past. I understand this run by the Chiefs has been epic. It is freaking huge. One of the best runs ever in the NFL history. But you got to dig your head out of the past. You can't keep going back to these slapnuts that aren't even good. It's like you got to move on. It's like Brett Veach is like a guy that can't get over his ex-girlfriend, you know?
This is all predicated on the fact that just Mahomes has been carrying this, though.
Yeah, for sure.
If you actually break down that entire draft that everybody talks about, Veach's greatest draft ever, he got lucky and Trent McDuffie fell to the end of the first round, okay?
Yeah.
George Karlaftis was taken at the end of the first round.
Who also kind of fell.
Right. You ended up with Leo Chanel. You ended up with Jalen Watson.
Pick.
But guess what? Najee Johnson didn't turn out to be all that great.
They used him too long. They kind of Chamari Connored him last year.
Right.
He shouldn't have been on the field last year, but they kept putting him out there to get cooked.
You got 3 decent years out of Pacheco, very decent years.
Yeah.
But people are running him out of town. When you actually start looking at what we actually got out of that draft, we're trying to trade one for more picks.
Good, does it?
That's what I'm trying to say. And then next year, well, we always hit on those. Oh, where's Nick Jones? He's not on the team anymore. Remember when we got him in the 7th round, he was supposed to be great? Where's Kamal Haddon? Didn't even make the team.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you start breaking down Brett Veach's drafts, they're not all that's cracked up to be. Like, he's hit a few.
You have to stick with that one draft that had, like, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Nick Bolton. That's probably the best one he's had, honestly.
I think that one's turned out to be the best, even over the McDuffie Karlaftis one.
Yeah, I think so, too. Shout out Daryl for becoming a member, too. Welcome to the crew. Appreciate you, my man. And then we got Chiefs 007 with the 5. Says you're giving too much credit to say they're thinking they're horrible, bro. Well, here's all I meant by that was I kind of thought before this game, before they even announced like the inactives and the injury report and all that, I already was like, I think they're going to tank. I don't think they're even going to try to win these games. And sure enough, when they come out and have half the roster inactive and this and that, I knew what was coming.
I'm with you. And the Chiefs aren't going to come out in public and be like, we're tanking.
Exactly.
You can't do that.
But here's the thing. Like, it's one thing to tank, but it's another thing to just be a detriment to yourself. And I think what you should have used today should have been, can Gardner Minshew run this offense? And guess what? We didn't get to find out because we couldn't protect him long enough to even not kill him.
And guess what? Gardner Minshew's taking his last snap in a Chiefs uniform. We seen Gardner Minshew for 1 quarter.
Right.
Now, or whatever it was, like 4 plays.
The only reason we wanted to see him was to see, hey, can he efficiently run this offense enough to be that guy in case Mahomes comes back late?
Right. And now if he's dealing with the same thing,
he's done.
He's useless.
So now you're back to square one with that because you now got to go out in the offseason and get a backup quarterback again, someone different, to relearn whatever offense, hopefully a retooled offense.
No, to hear it told, Steve, Chris Oladokin might be
That's the
future.
craziest thing I've ever heard. Look, Chiefs fans, I love you guys, but some of y'all say some crazy stuff sometimes. And there's this one fella out there, and he literally said, I saw a very big bright spot today in the Chiefs roster. Oladokin is our quarterback of the future. And that made me want to quit watching football. It made me want to quit talking to football fans.
That made me
It
want
made me,
to.
yeah, dude. It's like, come on. There's
to
no
Alaska.
way. There's no way anyone thinks that. There's no way possible that someone thinks that Oladokin is going to be the future quarterback of the Chiefs.
What's that even mean?
What are we
Like, he's gonna
talking
take Patrick
about?
Mahomes' job?
Dude, I don't know, but God bless America. That one got me. It got me, if you can't tell. Anyway, they're horrible. You're right, Chief. 0007. Perry with the 10 bomb says it looked like the players quit on the coaches. Do you blame them? Between Pop and Nico, our players' backs must be sore from running into the backs. Dude, that's one thing I will never miss. I'll miss Isaiah Pacheco's personality. I'll miss his energy he brings to the football field. I'll miss the passion that he plays with. I will not miss watching him run up the backs of the offensive line. Not one little bit.
No.
Nico, let's be honest here. Nico, it brings nothing to the table. Nothing.
Yeah, and what's weird is Nico, in the offseason a couple years ago, it looked like he should have deserved to make the team. Everybody thought he deserved to make the team this year, and then it's really been kind of ineffective. You could have done the same stuff with Brashard Smith. Jalen Royals could have been doing this. Tyquan Thornton could have been doing this. I think we've now discovered that we shouldn't just make a roster spot for a returner. People can do it. And specifically rookies can do it. And if you can't, I don't know why you're playing in the NFL.
Yeah, Mike, we said that before the season started. I was like, I don't think this year that you can afford to give a roster spot to a guy that can do nothing for you but return kicks. And then, sure enough, they made that spot for Nico, and he sucked at returning kicks.
You know, Dave Tobe. What's Dave
Tobe
Tobe
sucks.
done right?
That's another coach that's got to go.
Dave Tobe, I don't think, has had a good coaching performance since before the Sky Moore days.
Yeah, dude, he's been bad. He's been real bad. But anyway, to finish Perry's comment here, it says 15 covered a lot, and it showed. Correct, clean house on staff, and go from there. Check mark on that one too, Perry. Appreciate the 10, brother.
Appreciate you, brother.
Our boy Ron with the 5 says no Bossa sighting. 1 carry for Smith. Mitchell was waived. The season is a terrible comedy special. It's like they have done everything possible, and by they I mean the coaching staff, particularly Andy Reid. But it's like he got everybody together and he was like, how can we continue to make this the dumbest season of all time? Like, how can we look like we are a bunch of freaking clowns on the sidelines? Let's just waste any of the time we have left this season. What, Mike?
Look,
anyone
you
knew what they
know-
should have been doing today?
You know there's a problem. A lot of people's not watching the franchise this year.
Why would you? I
But
don't wanna watch that crap.
the people that have watched it this year said that the past episode that was released, the Chiefs and the people putting the video together and the front offices and the coaching staff, they are all literally trying to sell to every fan watching it that this team just had a few small things that didn't go their way.
That's what they still say. Andy, wait. Let's talk about this. Ron, I appreciate the 5, brother. You're right. This year has been a comedy special. And to add to that, Andy, after the game today and his post-game press conference, took responsibility for the poor showing and emphasized that while this season might be lost, they can learn from it to build for 2026. They just need to get a few things right. They need to
you're
fix
in the
a few
middle
little things.
of one of the greatest runs in history of the NFL, and you're trying for moral wins versus the Titans.
Brother.
What are we doing? Can we talk
Andy-
about this for a second?
Andy.
Look, I'm tired. Chiefs Kingdom.
Andy.
Look, Andy just really frustrates me.
Punch
but
him in the tits.
Look, this has been a hard season, man. It's been a hard season. I blame the coaching staff. I blame everybody. But look, I think Chiefs Kingdom has got a lot on this one too. And just give me a few minutes to just say what I'm going to say here, Steve. Just bear
Go
with
ahead.
me because I don't even know how I can put
Preach,
this.
baby.
I don't know how I can put it together.
Is this an angry rant or is it a sad rant?
It's neither. It's just an observation. When the Chiefs got beat by the Eagles,
Can I play the music?
no, because it doesn't need it.
Okay.
When the Chiefs got beat by the Eagles, a lot of our fans were mad, disappointed, and they checked out. They checked out all off season. They didn't want to have enough. They were a little bit, they were defeated. I get it. We played a lot of football. We got a lot of outside noise caving in on us about how everything's the refs and this and that. And the players have dealt with it too. But our fans took off the entire offseason. They used that one game as to check out all offseason. And again, as a fan from the outside, before we started doing this kind of stuff, before we started creating content and having a channel, I would have told you, and I would have believed it, and I still believe it to a certain extent, that Chiefs Kingdom is a smart fan base. We're one of the most devoted fan bases there are. I mean, look, we went through 30, 40 years of suck, and we were selling out Arrowhead. Don't tell me we're not.
The loudest stadium.
But what
in the world,
I have
baby.
learned from doing this, and I'm trying to say this as gently as I can, is that the old heads never got over being losers because they can't do it. Even throughout the entire good run, it was, when's the shoe going to drop? When's the shoe going to drop? And they couldn't even really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then now they've shifted over to, just because you're a little disappointed that the Chiefs look like the frickin' 2008 Herm Edwards Chiefs, that now, because we've been good for 8 or 9 years because of Patrick Mahomes, now you're just a baby if you want something good. Why have we not learned as a society and as a personal person, as a human being, that in life, when you catch success is hard. It's borrowed. It's tough to do. You struck lightning in the bottle when you got Patrick Mahomes, and you haven't wasted it so far because of Patrick Mahomes. But if Patrick Mahomes was just this much worse than he is, you've screwed it up because the front office and everything's not really give him anything to work with. He's never had a good running game. He's never had good receivers. There's so many faults here. And Patrick Mahomes has covered it up the whole
Offensive
time.
line, brother.
Right, the offensive line they couldn't get together. But Mahomes has always covered it up. And for all these people out here that think that you can't complain about this because we've had all this old stuff. You must have not been a fan before we started winning. No, I was a fan then. And there's no rush to get back to sucking.
Don't take me back. Don't do it.
Nobody wants to go back to that. We've hit the top of the mountain. You still got Mahomes in his prime. There's no reason to make excuses and try to go back. Like, that's life. You don't get a taste of success in life and then be like, well, I was successful. I can go back to being homeless now. What is that mentality? Like, let's all get better. Let's stop being a generation of pusses that want a participation trophy. Yeah. Get it. Steve, when we have a good video or we do something good, what do we say? When we hit 50,000 subs, we look at each other and we say, cool, let's go get 75.
Look at 100, baby.
Let's do what we got to do. But that's how you get better in life. But for some reason, a lot of our fans are in the mindset.
They want to go back to 1,000 subs.
Right. They want to suck. And I don't want to suck. I'm in no rush to get back to sucking.
They take pride in sucking.
It's like, bro, you didn't get an award for following a bad football team for 40 years.
Mike, it's a good point. It's a good point. Nobody did, and nobody wants it. Let's move on. Our boy JB in the house, y'all, with 10
JB.
gifted
Appreciate
memberships. Let's freaking go. That's awesome, JB. You are the freaking man. Y'all put some legendaries in the chat for him. If you got one of those, make sure you think of him in the chat. He's a legend. Brenda, our girl here with the 2 bombs, says maybe picks were good, but coaches can't coach them. That's a big possibility, too, because I think our player development has been trash. I mean, look no further than Andy Heck. We've been through the ringer on O-line, and we've drafted. And it took us getting a guy that should have been a top 10 to 15 pick at pick 32 to hit. Think about that.
It took us falling ass backwards into Creed Humphrey.
Yeah.
In the 2nd round.
Or Trey Smith in the 6th round or something.
Right. Just falling ass backwards.
Like, the obvious ones, the way it worked out. But anyone that, like, it took a little bit of development, didn't do anything. And the only one that I can say that has is Kingsley Suamataia. And that's not even because I don't think of the development. I think that's pure raw talent.
If he would have had to play left tackle this year, he probably didn't get any better.
Exactly. He was forced into that guard position, which was good for him. But we talked about that, Mike, when they drafted him. Like, he might be a better guard. This was way back a few years back. I think it was a McDuffie draft. They got Darian Kennard from Kentucky.
Yeah.
It still pisses me off to this day that they never put the kid in at guard and let him play. He could have been another Trey Smith. He could have been, like, maybe not that level, but he could have been close. And it's like, we just threw away pieces here and there and everywhere. And yeah, we lucked into a couple. And
we were screwing around with Lucas Niang.
Yeah, dude. Insane. It's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. You could go back all the way through the last 8 years. You're going to find these stupid things. And I get it. Nobody's perfect. No franchise is perfect. But damn, look, maybe we need to start gutting the draft gurus and the scouts and everybody too, because they're half stink too.
Line them up, put them in a line, just look at them, and you could probably just look at who it is and tell them they got to go. I feel like it's still nothing still pisses me off quite as much as Joe Blameyer saying that he was scared to game plan for Patrick Mahomes. Like, you have the best weapon ever in football, and you're scared to make an offensive game plan. That should have been a ticket out of Kansas City right there. Because that mentality is why we suck ass. That mentality is why we've been so stale on offense. That's why we've been so vanilla. It's literally, that's what they look like. They've been playing scared, right? And it starts from the coaching staff. Starts from the game plan. Starts from the scheme.
He just admitted he's like a 13-year-old boy that just hit puberty, like when Pamela Anderson back in the 90s.
But I'm afraid of it.
Like, what's he doing? Like, he's scared to death. Like, what's he doing?
Oh, let's move on here.
Bro, I can't.
R. Trucker with a 2-bomb. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for the support. Guys, real quick, just want to say thank you, everybody, for being here. 775 of you. Do us a favor. Hit the like button if you're on YouTube, X, Facebook, whatever. Share it out with your friends, family, followers, all that good stuff, guys. We would appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, take a second yet and go subscribe. We're the #1 independent Chiefs channel on YouTube. You're going to find all the good content here. It's consistent content, and we do a lot of it. Have a good time. Have a good, ACU crew is what we call everybody in the chat and our members and everything. Everybody's so cool. It's nice to just get on here and talk about Chiefs football with a bunch of good people, and this is the place to do it. Also, just want to shout out Zarda Barbecue, baby. Go over to Zarda Barbecue tomorrow. I know you're in your fields a little bit, and what helps with that, Mike? Good food, right?
Good food.
You go get you some good food. But if you get over to Zarda tomorrow, you get the $11 lunch, baby. You can't beat that. The food's delicious, man. You can go get a KC takeaway, the Ashton Gelati sandwich. It's freaking awesome. Get you a side of baked beans with it because they're phenomenal. But get that sandwich. Go check them out. $11 lunch. Can't beat it. Also, they have wings. They're great, and they have the best sauces in the game. Get over to Zarda and check them out, baby. Tell them All Chiefed Up sent you.
I love Zarda, man. I wish I could have some Zarda tomorrow. I need something to get over this.
That would make me feel a little better, Like, that's the thing. Everyone wants to talk about Q39, delicious. Jack Stack, delicious. And you want to go to the old school guys, Gates and I forgot about Joe's, but then there's Gates, and then there's Arthur Bryant's, and there's so many good places to eat at. Zarda don't get enough love. They're my favorite.
You know who you don't give enough love to sometimes? LC's. I like LC's. It's pretty good.
But Zarda's where it's at. Go to Zarda.
Yeah, I love Zarda. That's our favorite. But yeah, Steve, let's get back to the game for just a second. The Chiefs, could you not see? Well, let me say it this way. Very disappointed in the game today. If I'm Mike Borgonzi, and it was rumored that I'm going to hire Matt Nagy as
You're never hiring him.
Did you not watch what just happened today? And you're gonna say, "Yep, Matt Nagy's the future."
You're not hiring Spags, and you're not hiring Nagy after that. You're absolutely not.
I don't think you can.
Why the hell would you?
But my whole thing is like, look, I get there was a lot of injuries. I get that you're probably not running your best because you're just trying to get through these games.
But still, good Lord, man.
But today, all we wanted from these final few games was an audition for our future of 2026. And our coaching staff could not even deliver that to us. They dropped the ball on that. Something so simple as to give Brashard Smith some carries and see what he looks like. So simple as to give Jalen Royal some routes out there. So simple as to let Jeffrey Bossa play some defense.
Ridiculous.
It's stuff like that is why it's so frustrating.
Inexcusable.
It's not the loss. I don't care about the win or the loss. We probably bettered ourselves by losing. But the problem is that the coaching staff is so inept at times, and they're so full of themselves, and they're so hard-headed and stubborn that they won't even do what's good for 2026 because did it not cross their mind to play any of the young guys?
Brother, I don't know, man. We could keep going. We could keep going, Mike. We could keep going and ranting.
Pierce. What the hell did we sign Dameon Pierce for?
Same thing we signed Elijah Mitchell for, obviously.
Can I say this right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Damian Pierce can't play. The offense is too hard. D-Hop, we couldn't get him involved early. The offense was too hard. Let's name it. Jalen Royals. Offense is too tough for Jalen Royals. This offense looks like shit. Okay? There's middle school teams that can run this offense.
There's every defensive coordinator in the NFL.
That's precisely what I was going to say.
Can figure this offense out.
Go back 3 weeks ago when we played the Texans. Have their defensive coordinator come over to the Chiefs and hire him on in Nagy's position, and I tell you, he's going to teach the offense to these guys better than Nagy and Connor Embry and Todd Pinkston. Go get the Chargers defensive coordinator and have him go to the film room for 5 minutes because they sure as hell had it figured out. Steve, we've played must-win football for the past 3 weeks, and technically the past 2 weeks because this one didn't count. We already flubbed it up. We already went 0-2 after the Cowboys game on Thanksgiving. Once they lost that game, they had one job. It was to go 4-0. Andy Reid's high-powered offense, and this is another thing. If anybody wants to say Andy Reid this and he's irreplaceable and blah, blah, blah. You want to guess how many passing touchdowns this offense has produced since the Dallas Cowboys game?
4.
0. In must-win football games versus the Texans and the Chargers, the Chiefs had 0 passing touchdowns. Okay? This high-powered, vaunted offense
Elite.
that Andy Reid is 0 touchdowns. We have had more ACL injuries in the past 2 weeks than we've had passing touchdowns. I think that has to be a stat that if you go back to the NFL, the history of it, you couldn't find a team that had 2 ACL quarterback injuries faster than we could throw a touchdown. And I'm not trying to be smart and funny and all that. Like, it's annoying and it's flat out disgusting that we all prop up Andy Reid like he's so great and like there's nothing here. Like Andy Reid is like everybody else. He puts his pants on one leg at a time like everybody does watching this, okay? And he's not immune to criticism. And I get it. He's smarter than I am at football. I'm not saying that. But he may not have as much common sense as I do.
That's starting to become apparent. I feel like Andy might.
I love Andy Reid.
Andy might be one of those smart guys that has no common
for
sense.
him, man. But I mean, come on,
Mike. You can keep on ranting if you want, but I think our chat's going to do it for you. Let's get back to the chat.
Let the chat go, baby.
Well Turd, what's up, Well Turd? With a 5 bomb says in 8 plays, 2 quarterbacks tore their ACL, and they're still doing shit RPOs instead of pounding the rock with Smith and Pierce to ease O-line problems. They will never learn, and that's another problem with Andy Reid. He just refuses to learn from past mistakes. He will beat his head into a wall. He does that, and we know that.
The RPO needs to be gone in 2026.
It needs to go. It's over.
It's over.
I think the RPO ran its course in the NFL altogether. I don't think it's just the Chiefs. I just think in general.
The RPO is like the Wildcat once was. It's done. Okay?
So it's the wing T.
It's done. I'm telling you, the too high shell has completely exposed Andy Reid's offense that he had ran for all those years. The too high shell has killed it.
Thanks a lot, Lou Anarumo.
That dude may have changed football. He needs a plaque, probably.
Yeah, he's a. You know how Andy changed the game on offense? Anarumo has now changed the game.
Yeah, for the worst. If you like watching defensive football, there you go.
Mike, we got a freaking 20 bomb from Elizabeth. She says, just joining. Sorry. All the internet is buzzing. The Dynasty is done. Thoughts? Or can we recover with major adjustments? That's awesome, Elizabeth. I'm glad you brought this up and appreciate the 20.
Yeah, appreciate you.
But this is the media narrative, and it's going to be, has been, but now it's at an all-time boiling point, right? It's the end of an era. You know, Patrick went out with his injury, and this team's just bad, and they're going to have to completely rebuild. They can't retool anymore. It's time to rebuild. Time to gut it and start from the bottom up. And I think for the first time in a long time that the media narrative might be right.
It might fit.
It might fit. And I'm not saying it's the end of an era. It is the end of an era, kind of. So I'll agree with that.
Well, Brady went through this
too. Is it the end of the dynasty? I will say no. I think the Chiefs would have to be not competitive in football for the next 3 to 4 years for the dynasty to be considered over. Because, I mean, here's the thing. They missed the playoffs this year. If they miss the playoffs next year, but then they win a Super Bowl the year following that, do you think that what's that? You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to say a dynasty's over before it's over. But yeah, what is it going to take? It's going to take major adjustments, just like Elizabeth said. And it starts with Andy Reid, man. I hate to say it, but it is on Andy Reid, 100%. Brett Veach holds his piece of it, of course, with the roster and everything. But, I mean, Andy has his say in that, too. And I just think overall, every problem that we've had this season has stemmed from coaching. And you can point out different coaches on the staff, but it's Andy Reid's staff. He kept them here. He allowed them to do it. He allowed them to do it week after week. He allowed them to do it when it wasn't working. He allowed them to keep shitty players on the football field for absolutely no reason. This is all on Andy. So Andy's got a lot of self-reflecting to do. And I think that Clark Hunt needs a push down to Brett Veach, needs a push down to Andy Reid. Some shit got to change.
I agree. Nothing to add to that because, like you said, you can fire all the coaches you want, but all those coaches got jobs here. Connor Emery got a job straight out of a high school coach. Why? Andy Reid approved that. Todd Pinkston is a running back, or he's a wide receiver coaching running backs. Who approved that? Andy Reid.
Well, Ter, did you really you trolling me right now? You trolling me? Yeah, I think that I appreciate that too, by the way, man. But yeah, the special teams has been so bad too, dude. I mean, I'll be honest with you. As bad as the offense has been the whole season, at least we had a few games where they looked okay. Or there was even games when probably all of us thought like, hey, they're starting to click a little bit.
There was. It was the Lions, Commanders, that little run, Raiders game right there, that 3-game
Yeah, you started
run.
to be like, okay, here we go. Now we're getting it, and let's get it rolling. We never had that with special teams. They've been dog shit since the beginning, and they still are.
Dude, the first play of the year was a special teams penalty, wasn't it?
I think that right there might be more important than Matt Nagy, and let me tell you why.
You're going to say the special teams coach more important than Matt Nagy?
Firing Dave Tobe, straight up, I think might be more important than Matt Nagy. A lot of people's going to argue with that, and they're going to be like, yeah, but we got to do something with this offense. I'm not giving Matt Nagy a pass. I think he got to go too, 100%. But I think the first thing you do is fire Dave Tobe. I think that's number one.
Damn, you're going LA Rams on him, huh?
Well, I'm going to put it this way. Like, big changes have to happen. Somebody has to be held responsible. And if it's not Andy himself, Andy needs to hold others responsible. And what better way to set a tone for your entire organization that, hey, my assistant head coach sucks so bad this year. His one job of being special teams coach, he's gone. If I'll fire my assistant head coach, who won't I fire? Start from there. That's the one that's got to go first.
I agree with the sentiment, but then you said, "Who won't I fire?" And I'm gonna punch back and say he's not gonna fire nobody. I firmly believe if the coaches on this staff do not up and walk away from their positions, Andy won't fire them. Now, we'll say Nagy's not under contract after this year, right?
Well, look, if Andy don't fire anybody, then that's not just an Andy Reid problem. That's a Brett Veach problem. That's a Clark Hunt problem. Because I feel like after this season, if you're Clark Hunt and you own this team, this is your product you're putting down on the field. Not only have you got all the success, you're talking about moving the team, building a big, massive dome, like feeding all this money into the team, like being the world's team and all this and that, and you're going to allow this for a year. If you don't push down after that to get something done and get something changed, then what are you doing as an owner?
I want to know why certain coaches even want to be here. If you're Matt Nagy and heard what he's heard from fans for 3 years,
Matt Nagy,
why does he even want to be here?
He didn't even sign his extension. I think he wants to be a free agent. He wants to look around. Go look around.
He needs to.
I'm praying to God that somebody hires him. I'm praying that a lot of our guys get hired. Would love it. They need to get hired somewhere else.
Please.
I mean, that's all there is to it. There's just no excusing what we have watched as Chiefs fans. From how great this team has been for literally 7 seasons in a row. And you could even go before Patrick Mahomes if you want to. There were some Alex Smith teams that had a legitimate shot, won a playoff game, like did something. This team is trash. It's trash. So there's some things to talk about. J freaking B with the 50 bomb, y'all. Let's go.
Jay, you don't even understand how much that means because I'm telling you.
After the 10 gifted too, man.
Yeah, we're content creators. Again, we're independent. We don't have a
management
group,
group,
a management
and
group,
a multi-channel network like a lot of these other guys.
We don't. We're not owned by big conglomerates. We don't have that. It's me and Steve. We do everything from editing to writing to everything. We do it. And we take pride in trying to be a voice of the fan for the fan. And I know it pisses people off because Chiefs Kingdom is one of the
everybody
worst.
thinks alike, right?
We've already thought about We've already talked about this. Chiefs Kingdom is one of the worst at like fan shaming each other. And I don't know what that is. But anyways, JB, that means a lot because the Chiefs have shit the bed so hard this year. And we are getting an early kick in on the offseason, man. It's not fun from our perspectives.
Yeah, let me tell you. Honestly, we had been doing really good as a channel. Just to be completely candid, the last 3 months have been our biggest month as a channel since we started consecutively, like in a row.
Yeah.
And, you know, getting a little bit of momentum with the channel and then like trying to grow and just trying to gain monetarily, you know, so we can put more time into this and more into this and less going to work here and spending 40 hours here. And, you know, just little things like that. We've been trying to get there and we were growing really good. And it's like, dude, the Chiefs picked the worst time to shit the bed, dude. They really did.
I think that's just the universe. The Chiefs could be the product of just the universe trying to shit on me.
Might be our fault.
That's what always does it. If we got a taste of success, the universe is like,
it might be our fault. Just going to say that right now.
But
no,
anyways,
seriously, we're going to keep grinding. We're going to do what we always do. And naturally, a bunch of Chiefs Kingdom is fed up and done with it. They don't even want to talk about football. They don't want to look at football. They're done with football for a while. And that's okay. I mean, I understand it. I do. But we'll still be here grinding, doing the entire off season, everything like that, like we normally do. So subscribe, hang out with us, have some fun. JB, you're the man. Thank you so much. You're a legend. And let's read this here.
Good draft picks unfortunately won't have the impact that would with other teams.
Yeah.
Look at Egbuka with the Bucks. Andy would never give. Exactly.
Knew that was coming too. I knew Egbuka was going to be
Steve,
good.
me and you said Emeka Egbuka was one of those receivers because I remember people talking about how he could fall to the end of the first. We were saying there's no way.
We had him in our top 3 at one point.
Yeah, he was one of our top 3s. But again, if he would have been drafted by the Chiefs, he'd have been nothing. Could you imagine what Xavier Worthy would have looked like in another one of these offenses?
Yeah, dude. You're really starting to see that. I'm honest too.
We're one of the only franchises that will not let young players come in. And the thing is like college, high school even now, with the NIL and stuff, these dudes are professionals before they're out of high school. They're ready to accept more responsibility in their rookie years. And for some reason, Andy Reid just won't allow it. He's so old school that it's a detriment. They will not adapt to modern NFL.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's inexcusable, just like a lot of the other stuff. But like, let's be honest here. I think that Jalen Royals, there's not a whole lot of teams that I don't think he would already be putting in work. I think he could have went to the freaking Los Angeles Rams and already put in work. And that's with the roster of Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams. Their next guy up is Tutu Atwell. Like, I honestly think if he would have went to the Rams, that McVay would have had Jalen Royals.
He would have found
probably 700 yards receiving
packages, man, to put him in.
Yeah, man. Andy's got to get with the times, dude. He's got to get with it. And I think like investing in your young players, it sucks too because Andy never did that, and he had to. His hand was forced the last few years, and he had to use Rashee Rice, and guess what? It paid off. He had to use Xavier Worthy the year after that. It paid off, and then he just went away from it. It's like, dude, you just proved that you can use these young guys, and they can produce, and we see it. We all saw
Josh Simmons this year, and that paid off. He was good.
He won't change, dude. And it's like
it's basically right if you're a first round pick, you got a shot. If you're anything else, good luck.
Yeah. Appreciate that 50 bomb, baby. Let's go, JB. Chiefs 007 with the 2 says this team has ruined my life. Hey, if you think it's ruined your life, imagine if you wake up every day and you start working on covering the Chiefs and you do it all day. And you, even when you call your brother just to be like, hey brother, how's life? How you doing? Everything okay? It's not even that. It's us being like, dude, what the hell are we going to talk about today? Because this team sucks. Like, talk about ruining lives, dude. We understand. Like, this team, this year, good Lord, dude. Like, 2025 has kind of been a shit year from the start, right? Starting with the Super Bowl and everything. But this year has been crazy bad on all fronts. And the Chiefs put the freaking cherry on top.
And honestly, if you had a time machine and you go back and you don't know what the future looks like, you probably would never believe we were this bad.
Hey, you thought for sure we're going to beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl, baby.
Do you remember preseason?
We're three-peating.
Do you remember the preseason when the schedule comes out? You have to do the preseason predictions for the schedule, and we were saying that the Chiefs could have 5 losses, and everybody was like, "You guys are crazy! I hate this channel. You guys suck. You're not even real fans. I'm going to go over and watch RGR."
Mike, we had Warren Sharp on a video, and he said the Chiefs could go 12-5 or 11-6, and they could be a better team than they were last year. I 100% agree with them on that.
Yeah.
But what's funny is people got mad about that.
Yeah, people were pissed.
And that was being optimistic.
And now those same people think
know.
Andy Reid's not even at fault here.
Come on, baby. Mars Bar with a 10 bomb said, time for some Mac Nuggets. Comfort food. Mike, what kind of comfort food are you going to get for the day? Some Mac Nuggets. You know what I
already had it.
I did too.
What'd you do?
You try to guess what I had, and I'll try to guess what you had.
Okay, you had, man, what did you have? Did you go out or did you get cooked home cooking?
I couldn't cook today. I didn't have time. I've been at work all day and I had to do
You
this.
had Chinese food.
You damn right I did, baby.
Yeah.
I had some General Tso's chicken from the Asian Express.
Hey, I won. I won something today. The Chiefs may have lost, but at least I got something right there. Now you got to guess mine.
Can I, if I name the town where you ate food?
I was in Elizabethtown. I drove down.
Did you stop in Radcliffe?
No.
Okay. I'm going to go with a little bit of Mexican food. And I'm going to go with Los Nopales.
Nailed it. It. It's like we're brothers. I don't even understand.
Dude. Great minds, great minds. All right, appreciate the 10 though. Sorry guys, we got out in the weeds for a second. Sometimes you got to take your mind off this season.
Atrocity that we call football.
Well Turd with another 2 says, I kid you not, all my grays popped up this year. I wouldn't doubt that.
Bro.
Wouldn't doubt that a bit.
I agree.
Mike, how did we go 2 for 2?
I have no idea.
That's crazy, dude.
Steve, I've had so much stress this year, half my body went numb since
Yeah,
August.
Dude. Because you were in Kansas City.
Yeah, I picked up on it.
When we were there, you know?
Jeez
It all
Louise.
started. 5 bomb from Hannah. She says, it doesn't matter who we draft when coaching staff is stubborn and resistant to change play calling. Andy's mantra is, I'd rather lose my way than change to win. Mike's always said that too.
Yep, that's been my thing this year. And it's apparent.
Yeah.
He would rather win, or he'd rather lose
I
his
think
way
this
than
is
win
a huge,
somewhere else.
This is a huge year, like an offseason for Andy. Because, Mike, I don't know off the top of my head. And maybe you can Google it real quick or, talk to Jim and I. Is this the worst year that Andy's ever had as a coach? In all of his years coaching, which how many years? I want to know how many years Andy's been a head coach. And is this the worst record he's ever had?
Okay, so it says, geez Louise. Google didn't understand my question, so I'm just going to go to Pro Football Reference.
That's a question for Jim and I.
Yeah, Andy Reid has coached for 27 years. Jeez Louise. Andy old, bruh. Okay, he's coached for 27 years. Let's see. His first year was 1999. He was 5-11.
The worst season he ever had was 4-12.
Yeah,
4-12
in
Eagles, and that's what got him fired.
And he got fired. But yeah, we're at 6, and our fans are like, "Oh, Andy's the man." I just don't. I don't know.
So 2000, the 99.
Because again,
Eagles,
Andy had a big run. So
there was the first year, 5-11. 2005, he went 6-10, and which is what we're going to be. Actually, it's going to be 6-11. So we're going to have his second worst season ever. Right?
Are we kind of repeating history with Andy Reid in a way? Andy, okay, look, so he didn't have Patrick Mahomes in Philly, right? But from the year 2000 until 2004, so for 5 years, 5 full years, he went 11-5, 11-5, 12-4, 12-4, 13-3, and was the NFC champions, lost in the Super Bowl. Okay, so that was basically like a mini little like dynasty run. Now, again, he didn't have the Mahomes. He didn't go to the NFC Championship every game. He definitely didn't win the Super Bowls. But that was his mini. And then he come out with a 6-10 season, which is what we're on pace to do. And they had to put him on the hot seat. And then he finishes up 10-6, 8-8, 9-6, 8-8, 4-12. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like they give Andy a second chance. And it really didn't pan out. And then what did everybody say? Well, we're not going to get a coach as good as Andy Reid. And then what they do? They come in with a Dougie P and won a Super Bowl or something. And then
so let's put it this way.
You fall into Sirianni.
Can
people are still showing up and winning.
Let's put this perspective. Let's put it into this perspective here. Okay, his worst season ever was 2012. The last year with the Eagles, he went 4-12. So that was his last. That's his worst season with the Eagles, right?
Yeah, for
2012.
Sure.
This is the worst season he's had with the Chiefs. So can this be a turning point for Andy the same way 2012 to 2013 was a turning point without a change of scenery? Do you think he can kind of reevaluate and switch just a little bit that he did and like, because I think that Andy absolutely grew a little bit between those times.
Right.
He came into, KC wasn't a good team. In 2012, Kansas City was worse than the Eagles. They were 2-14. So Andy he did something between those years to get back on track. This is another one of those points in Andy's career where I think he has to step back and reevaluate. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he kind of did that after 2005, after going 6-10. He followed up with a 10-6. But then he went 8-8, 9-6, and those didn't even, I don't even think, got you in the playoffs.
Pretty well. I appreciate the 5, Hannah.
Yeah, you just never know how this is going to play out. This really could be like the turning point here. And it's like you don't want, as a team with Patrick Mahomes, you don't want this, as a franchise. And a franchise in the middle of a dynasty, you don't want like this weird lull for 4 or 5 years. You just can't have it.
Right. Got a 10 bomb from I Love Face. Says, what a ride these last 8 years have been. I'm looking at my Super Bowl hats and just shaking my head. What a run. New run starts with getting a star running back to take all the pressure off Pat. Dude, so I like that you put it into that perspective. Because I mean, that's the thing. We've been kind of on a rage all night and just talking about all the miscues of this coaching staff and this team from this season. And I'm not setting that aside. Like, that still exists. That is our current. Like, honestly, the past doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist. All you got's right now. And right now we suck. And it sucks. But you do have to be, you have to look at the last 8 years and just be like, damn, man, we never saw that coming. Us as Chiefs fans, we didn't think we'd ever see a day where we're talking about 7 years of Patrick Mahomes. This cat was in the AFC Championship game every season. We went to 5 Super Bowls in 7 years,
right,
and won 3 of them. That's unheard of. It's crazy. And, dude, yeah, awesome. It's amazing and totally thankful for that. Thankful that we got to watch our pops experience that as a lifelong Chiefs fan. I mean, there were times where we thought old man was going to go be with Jesus before we won a friggin' Lombardi. Like, we really thought that at one point. So, I mean, super thankful for what's happened in the last 8 years. But yeah, man, I don't know if a star running back would take all the pressure off Pat or change everything. And I understand where people are coming from when they say that. But I do think that getting I would say a superstar running back, but getting a competent, good, above average running back could change things. Because we've yet to do that, dude. Since Jamal Charles, we have literally had Spencer Ware. We had Charkandrick West. We had Damian Williams. We've had Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Like, just keep going. We can keep going. Y'all know who's all been here. Pacheco. Nobody. I don't think any of those you could consider above average. So, I mean, we've got to make some kind of a play there. But I think that you really have to, a lot of the focus is going to be on the defensive line, obviously, rightfully so, and running back. But I think we have to pump the brakes on the O-line just a little bit, because here I am thinking, like, I'm kind of okay with how the O-line could be next season if you think about it. If they're all healthy and they're all playing, and you're looking at, Josh Simmons, Kingsley Suamataia, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, and probably Jalen Moore on that right side. I feel okay with that. That seems okay to me. Like if they can stay healthy.
Right.
But I
or
think what
Pole, he's played well too.
But I think what you've seen over these last few weeks, Mike, is our depth at that position sucks. Our offensive line depth is trash. We thought we had it. We don't. We have none. If any of those guys get hurt, we're going to be right back in the same boat with our quarterbacks getting hurt because we can't block for them. So I think they do have to focus on the O-line as well. You've got to strengthen that room. You have to.
And we don't know if CJ Hansen, and I think we could just about
Nor
say
Zad, all those
Caliendo
guys
probably is not
no.
there. Nor Zad, we don't know what we have there, to be honest.
Obviously, it's not very good if you can't beat out some of these other guys.
Wanye shouldn't be back next year.
No, he stinks.
Like it's pretty bad. Chew Godrick's been okay.
If you're dependent on Chew Godrick, you
right.
got problems. You know?
Yeah, we need some big time hits there. We need a couple of those. We need a couple of defensive linemen in this draft. If Brett Veach can muster out a little bit of money, you need to probably. And look, here's the thing: is it cheaper to sign offensive guards and offensive tackles? Is it cheaper to sign defensive ends, defensive tackles, or is it cheaper to sign, say, wide receivers or tight ends? Because there's where you're starting to get your problems. Okay, maybe safety too. You can include that, depending on if you can't get back Brian Cook, and you're not sold on Jaden Hicks for some reason, and so you've got all these problems across the board. So it's like you got to figure out where to spend your money. I don't know if you spend a lot of money on a running back, and honestly, let's be completely honest. You can bring a Jeremiah Love out of Notre Dame with the number 10 pick in the draft. I don't know if he looks that good next year because our scheme's stale. We run out of shotgun way too much. We run on second down and long every time. It's predictable. There's got to be changes across the board. You could have brought in Breece Hall, and I think it's so predictable they'd have snuffed it out.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure how they want to spend the money that they're able to free up. Which Brett Veach is going to have to pull some strings and free up a lot of money, and I think he can. I think there's plenty of opportunity
for sure.
Plenty of opportunities on this roster to free up money. But here's the thing, and here's something I've been saying for almost a year now, Mike, and I've really been hammering on it lately. I think that the failures on this team's roster hasn't come from the draft. Like you mentioned earlier, Brett hasn't hit on these drafts as good as people think, but I think Brett Veach has hit on the draft as good as other teams or better. But where he's failed is free agency. We never go get any proven players worth of shit. And the one time that we did, we got D-Hop in his latter years and didn't even really use him. We used him as a decoy.
He was a trade.
Look, bro, we have to go out.
He was a trade.
Yeah,
he wasn't a free agent signing.
That's true too. But I mean, I'm just saying an acquisition of anyone that's proven. Well, that's something that we do not do. Our free agency acquisitions this year, guys, were Christian Fulton and Jalen Moore.
And Elijah Mitchell.
Jalen Moore, I think, ended up proving to be a smart move by Veach. And that's just because I think depth at offensive line is always a smart move. And it made it look even better, the fact that, Josh Simmons fell into our lap. And then
right, but he had to do that because of Simmons. You didn't know you were going to draft Simmons at 32.
100%. But yeah, and you mentioned Elijah Mitchell. The only people I think that he's ever hit on in free agency in this entire run, because you can go back and start talking about the trade for Kadarius Toney or signing MVS or you can just keep going. I think the only good ones he's ever signed, and that's like here nor there.
No, I'm not saying he's good. I'm just saying that was some of the players he signed. Hollywood.
The best ones he signed have been two safeties, Tyrann Mathieu and Justin Reid. And then I would say if he was Joe Thuney, then Joe Thuney. And that's it. That's it. I'm starting to believe, and I've seen a lot of people say this, but I'm starting to believe that this entire run was set up by John Dorsey, and Brett Veach has failed to maintain it. Like, I think there's some truth to that.
The roster has got progressively worse and came to a head this year.
Yeah, I think there's some truth to that. I'm not going to say it 100%, but I think whoever, there's some
Brett
people
Veach
saying
would have dinner with us and talk to us about it, we'd know it definitively.
Brett, I mean, we could definitely be a scout for you. We could give you some, advice on the draft. We're good like that, man. Hit us up. Andy Wardino with the 5-bomb. So it's frustrating watching other teams' wide receivers play. We don't have a receiver that wins 50-50 balls. I think we'll give Andy one more year, but he's on thin ice. Totally agree with the last statement. I've been saying this. Mike, how many people called me out in the comments and said I was stupid because I said Andy should be on the hot seat?
I mean, people are still going to say that after this. We'll get 100
Insane,
comments
bro.
of us saying we're stupid. Our
We
takes are
understand
bad
Andy
because
Reid has been a
Andy.
good coach since 2013. We
I'm not
understand.
taking nothing away from him, but he's also. I mean, Bill Belichick lost his flair too, didn't he?
This
Maybe
is
the greatest
epic
coach
failure.
ever. Look what he done.
Mike, if they had got to the playoffs this year and just didn't get the job done, or anything of the like, even if they had a winning record but didn't squeeze into the playoffs, that's
Right,
one
like
thing.
Brady did
But
when he
this
missed in
year,
08.
This year has been so freaking bad that it got to the point we hit the bottom of the barrel, Chiefs Kingdom. We got our franchise quarterback's leg took out because we couldn't protect him and we had him trying to do too much and we refused to change. We literally took the knee out of our franchise quarterback because we were so stupid that we couldn't get anything done. That is the bottom of the effing barrel. Mike, if we went back to talking about Patrick Mahomes in the middle of that run, the one thing that we always talked about was do not Aaron Rodgers this guy. Do not make him do too much. Do not get him hurt. Don't put too much on his shoulders. And that's exactly what they've done. And it's gone downhill and downhill and downhill to we're at the bottom of the barrel.
Dude, and again, I keep bringing it back to this, but anybody that ever spoke out against Brett Veach or any of his signings, you're horrible. I just went and looked at the Jawan Taylor one the other day. We were talking about how we didn't like the Jawan Taylor signing. He was bad in the run game. He had a lot of penalties. He wasn't worth the contract. And at the time, they were talking about moving him to left tackle. Do you remember that? When he first got signed, it was talking about moving to left tackle because of OBJ.
Yeah.
People were tearing us up in the comments. We're not real Chiefs fans. This channel's stupid. That was a good contract. What are you talking about? We got to trust Veach. And boy, crazy how things have changed in 3 years. Okay. But when you start coming over to this one, it's like everybody they're too caught up in the hype of what the Chiefs try to sell you every single season. And I think we've seen that, and it's finally come to a head a little bit. And so we've got to just figure out a way. I don't even know. I'm with you, though. It's frustrating to watch all these other wide receivers and things.
Well, here's the thing, and I don't even think it's the receivers per se. A lot of
We
people
don't
can
even
be
have look, we don't have receivers, Steve, that can win man-to-man. Our receivers just don't win man-to-man matchups, and they don't even know where to sit down in the zone. Now, is this Connor's Embry's problem, or what is this? I don't know,
Dude,
but you got to get to the
I'll
bottom
tell you
of it.
this. Like, you touched on this a little bit earlier, but I guarantee you any of these receivers, probably just about any of them, could go to a different offense and succeed. Like our offense is where receivers go to die.
That's why big receivers want to come here.
Exactly. Because our scheme is trash. The routes they run is trash. Like it's all trash. Like I don't even think like I'll put some of it on the receivers. They can't get open in man, and that's some way somehow on them. A little bit. But like I think the positions that they've been put in are so bad. It's been a detriment to all their careers. I can almost say that.
A lot of people will say, why do receivers not want to come here and play with Patrick Mahomes, the greatest quarterback ever? I think they seriously watch how the Chiefs' offense goes, though, and it's not really like an offensive thing. It's Mahomes making plays, and he doesn't really target one specific receiver over and over. He takes what he has to because he's half the time running for his life. He's making stuff happen. This whole entire offense has been going through Travis Kelce for years. They got to get out of that.
It would probably be impossible to like actually figure out the statistics of this, but I would be hard pressed to say that there are any other quarterbacks in the entire league in the last 10 years, the last decade, that literally average throwing the ball to 7, 8, 9 different receivers every game. In every game, Patrick Mahomes spreads the ball around to everybody, their grandma and the water boy.
Let's look at say Aaron Rodgers when he was like playing well with the
Devontae
Packers.
Adams.
You had Devontae Adams. Before him, you had Jordy Nelson. You always had that one guy to rely on. And now we've had Travis Kelce. And that's what I'm saying. That's why the receivers have always been second tier. It's always ran through Travis Kelce because they've had to out of necessity.
Yeah. Tiger Atlas, Romostamo with the 10 bomb says nothing will change until Andy goes. Andy was a good coach until Mahomes made his reputation as a genius. Now Andy is squandering Mahomes. He's washed. So I will say there's some truth to this comment, and I'll give a little bit more grace than you're giving Romostamo. I'll say Andy, you give him one more year to get this straight, right? But I'm a firm believer that if Andy were to come out next year and shit the bed even close to this year, you go ahead and can him. Like
He's got to make the playoffs next year. If he don't make the playoffs, he's gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't have 2 losing seasons and be a part of a dynasty.
Because right now, the
the
only way Andy's going to beat the allegations that he is squandering Mahomes is if he wins another Super Bowl in the next year or two. That's it. Because otherwise, I mean, you have a quarterback that's been on pace. Dude, what is 5 out of 7 seasons? What's a percentage on that?
Statistically, well,
What's
4 out of 5 would be 80. So you're somewhere around like, I don't know, just say like 70 to 80.
Well, it's over 75%.
What is it? What'd you say?
5 out of 7.
5 out of 7. Here, I'll just do the math really quick.
Look at us. Look at us doing math.
It is statistically 71%, so 0.714. So you're close to 72%.
Okay. You have been in the Super Bowl 71% of the time in the last 7 years is insane. That's insanity. So to say he squandered Mahomes to this point, it's a speculation. We think it, and we're starting to see it this year, and we're like,
yes, has Mahomes faded over the past few years? But again, I'm telling you, it's coincidentally right around the time of that too high safety. Yeah. It's because I believe that defense has really basically destroyed the West Coast Andy Reid style.
That's a theory, but if you think about it, they won 2 Super Bowls after that became a league-wide thing. What did Mahomes
done it
do?
Off nothing but Patrick.
Well, what did Patrick do? If you go back to Super Bowl 50-something.
54?
No, 54.
Are you going to the 49ers Super Bowl? Oh, you're going back to the first Eagles. Okay, I got you.
If you go back to that Super Bowl, that was the first year after we lost to the stupid Bengals. And that too high safety became prevalent. That's what everyone tried to use and mimic what Anarumo did to defeat Patrick Mahomes that next season.
Right.
And if you think about it, we had a tough season that year. We started off in the hole just like we did this year. That was the year that we lost to the Lions in the season opener.
Yeah, Chris Jones sat out for a little bit.
Yeah, dude. Patrick Mahomes settled that year, and a lot of his offense came from like small manufactured screenplays. It came from checking down to the running backs like Jerick McKinnon. Our receivers sucked that year. If you remember, they were all-time bad receiver core. It was MVS, Kadarius Toney, Sky Moore. Like, they were bad.
How the hell did Patrick Mahomes win a Super Bowl with that?
Right, but
to diminish his greatness, though, and to think that he did that with those receivers. I have
a new theory. I'm going to float out there, and you guys can let us know in the chat what you think about it. Mike, you can let me know too, and we'll move on to the next chat. But I have a theory. 2 years ago, in the offseason, during camp and everything, this was after 2 Super Bowl wins, mind you. We just won 2 back-to-back Super Bowls. What all of a sudden started happening and started being the thing that the Chiefs were going to try to achieve?
Just to try to get the deep
push
ball.
The ball down the field.
Yeah.
Push the ball down the field. We're going to get back to the deep ball. We're going to get back to the deal. That bit us in the ass because we won 2 Super Bowls.
Right.
Taking what the defense was giving us because everyone was playing that same stupid defense.
And then it's like you fought Andy because Reid, you can't make the defense play what you would.
He got too horny about the deep ball, wanting to be flashy. And it's push the ball down the field, push the ball down the field. It's all we heard 2 seasons ago in camp and last year in camp. Push the ball down the field, push it, push it, push it. And then guess what? Patrick presses. The offense looks like trash. We don't establish a run game.
Look, I'll say this. They've wanted to do that, but when you watch the games, 95% of the plays is the most dink and dunk basic shit you've ever watched.
Yeah, but if you watch a lot of the plays, it's Patrick Mahomes running around missing wide open receivers because he's waiting for a home run ball. Like the same old crap that got him in trouble against the Bengals. And
I think defenses are, for one, I think the shell attributes to this. When you've got bad or suspect defense or offensive line and you can just rush 4 and you can actually get pressure, you put more defenders out there. You're taking away the intermediate field. You're taking away some of the short game like the Eagles did in the Super Bowl. You were also taking away the over-the-top ball. You're taking that away. Andy and them try to fight it, but you don't have enough protection. You don't have this. You don't have that. To me, I'm with you. I feel like they try to force their offense onto things rather than to take what they can take.
That's what made us so good those 2 years. That's why Jerick McKinnon had a career year.
And I know that's frustrating, But you
Do it.
cannot force a defense.
I would rather win
The
Super
only
Bowls
way
just
you
taking what the
force-
defense gives you.
Well, this is why though. The only way you force the defense out of that too high shell is what?
Run the football and dink and dunk.
Run the football. And Andy won't run the football. So he has coming up with a plan to go deep, but he won't put in the groundwork that does it.
He's under the impression that he can't have a running game unless he hits 4 deep balls first.
Look, you got to go back to run
So
opens up
ass
the
backwards,
pass,
bro.
not pass opens up the run.
Yeah, appreciate the 10, Romastamo. Hannah with the 5 bomb says we need Nate Schilhaus as our OC. He's the Rams pass game
Schilhaus?
coordinator. Yeah.
Is that how it's pronounced? I don't know how it's even pronounced.
Stop with the fire, Andy Chief Kingdom. He needs an OC with fresh ideas. So, Hannah, appreciate the 5. Appreciate the sentiment, but I think you're wrong on this one. I'll say that. I think that he definitely needs an OC to bring in fresh ideas, that's for sure. But I think it's okay if someone's already to the point of wanting to fire Andy Reid. And the reason why is because Andy is 100% responsible for this. We also know that Andy calls the plays. We know how that play, Mike, we got a very good in-depth look at how that offense works and how the play calling works.
Yeah, Jesse Newell. He's wrote for the New York Times. Joe Blaymire told him exactly how this was ran.
Andy gives a word to Matt Nagy, which puts it into a very limited subset of plays.
Right.
And then Nagy converses with Patrick Mahomes and they pick one. And that's how this offense has been ran. So to blame everything on Matt Nagy is asinine. Because literally Andy's calling the plays for all intents and purposes. If you don't want to say he's calling the plays, he's calling the packages. That give Matt Nagy 4 or 5 plays to pick from. So it's like, I don't know if a new offensive coordinator would be the answer. I do think it would help.
Look, Nagy has 4 or 5 plays to pick from. He's so
Maybe
bad.
more.
But I'm just saying, like, he's so bad that he misses.
He always
every
picks the wrong
single
one?
time. Like, you had 4 out of the 5 work, and he picks the one that blows up every time. Like, I guess that's a possibility.
No, but I do agree. We need some fresh ideas. We need some new blood. I think we need someone from outside of the Andy Reid coaching tree to come in as an offensive coordinator, bring a fresh scheme, bring a fresh idea to Andy Reid. Because, Mike, I've said this too, and it's been documented several times on this show. I think Andy Reid is an open enough mind to be like, yeah, let's give it a shot and see if it works. I think Andy would do that. I do. I don't think Andy would trump it and be like, no, that's stupid. We're going to do it this way. I think Andy is a guy that'll be like, okay, let's give it a shot and see if it works.
Do you think, though, Andy, I think he's open to that, but do you think Andy's also the kind of guy that's just open, like he's just never going to hardly budge on like the things that could make it work, like the little nuances as in packaging, letting youthful players, or he only wants a certain type of receiver?
That's possible. But I do think that Matt Nagy plays into Andy Reid too much. He gives Andy what he knows Andy wants. It's too comfortable. It's too easy. It makes my job easy if I just do the easy thing. And then my boss says, cool, let's do it. That makes my job easy, right? That's what Matt Nagy's doing right now.
Matt Nagy is the guy at your job that's got his nose shoved up the boss's ass and hopes that he gets a better job. He's the yes man.
100%. Appreciate the 5, Hannah. Sammy Joe in the house with the 2 says, I hear the Giants are trying to hire Marcus Freeman as head coach.
From the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. You know, I almost bought me a
we don't
Notre
need that
Dame,
to happen. We need Matt Nagy gone.
I almost bought a Notre Dame Fighting Irish shirt yesterday. I was out Christmas shopping for my nieces, and yeah, I bought her a little crew neck, and I was like, you know what? I kind of want to buy myself a little crew neck here. But I didn't do it. It was $100. I was like, let's save this. It's hard times, man, out here.
It's rough times.
Can't pay $100 for a crew neck.
That's crazy. Anyway, Hannah with the 2 says, don't kill me. No other team would say Rice is a wide receiver 1. I think you're right to a certain extent. I don't think any team would.
I don't think he's a wide receiver 1 in this league.
I don't think
he's
teams
borderline.
We're the only team that has to try to make him a wide receiver 1. But here's another thing. At his best, before he got hurt, he was literally rubbing elbows at the top of the wide receiver.
Yeah, he was right up there with Jamar Chase and all them.
Literally, his stats were on pace to put him in between Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson last year before he got hurt. Granted, that was only a quarter of the season sample size we got to use, but I think that he's talented enough. And I think what a lot of people don't understand about Rice, he has a bit of a drop problem, and that reared its ugly head. We've been talking about that since he got drafted. The guy had a 9% drop rate in college. And we brought that up to everybody's attention. But luckily, he didn't really drop many until this season. And granted, I think the reason why he was dropping a lot this season is because our offense was so predictable that safeties were collapsing and knocking his head off. They got him to where he didn't even want to catch the ball, which goes back to our coaching staff being predictable and crap. And, that's the thing. I think that Rashee Rice, he has more talent with the ball in his hands, like after catch, than a lot of receivers do in the NFL. I'd say he's top tier in that.
He's definitely a running back with the ball in his hands.
Yeah, he's top tier in yards after catch with like what he can create. So I think he could be a wide receiver one for another team. But I would just take it a step further, Hannah, and I would say no other team puts themselves into position to where they have to try to make Rashee Rice the wide receiver one. That's how bad our roster building's been.
I agree.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, Turd with the 2 says, I was trolling about special teams. They suck.
Yeah.
I know you were.
There ain't no way anybody thought special teams was the bright spot.
Right. Guys, just want to take a second to thank everybody. Almost 1,000 people here. Do us a favor. If every one of you would hit that like button, or if you're watching on X or Facebook, share it out with your friends, family, followers. That would help us out big time. We're trying to grow the channel. Mike and I got a little candid about that earlier, kind of showed you, told you what's going on with it and everything. But what would help us the most is if just a little bit of word of mouth. Like there's 1,000 people watching right now. If everybody went and told a friend, hey, check this show out, or hey, this or that, or even in the comment sections of other videos that you watch where there are other Chiefs fans, like, hey, check out this channel. That would go a long way in helping us grow. And that would be amazing. That's what you guys have been doing so far. And I mean, where we're at because of it, and all that. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do that. Been saying, baby, you need to be here. It's going to be a long off season. And I dare say that we have some of the best off-season content there is out there. So you're going to want us.
Look, we have 246 likes right now. If we can hit 250, let's hit 300. If we can hit 300, I'll give something away. We'll do a giveaway. I won't even tell you what it is. I'll come up with something. I'll send it out. It'll be like a Christmas surprise for you.
Woohoo! A little Santa gift.
A little Santa gift from All Chiefed Up for you guys being here and being so willing to talk about football.
Dude, it's awesome that there's 1,000 people here talking about this when this team is this bad. I mean,
on a day that the Chiefs really just feels like it's rough, right? But we're here having a good time.
The Chiefs shit the bed on us, but we haven't shit the bed on them. We're all here right now at 9:39 on a Sunday night, a few days before Christmas, talking about this bad football team. That's dedication. Tom with the 2 bombs says, how about checking out Tanner Engstrand for OC? Don't know who that is, Tom. Mike, do you know who that is? Is that who it is?
Jets coordinator? Maybe. He's a young guy, I know. I don't know. I mean, I don't really want nobody that's involved with the Jets, but
yeah, the Jets were pretty bad.
Steve, would you any OC, like, I firmly believe that Andy's not going to hire outside of his coaching tree. I don't see it. I would much rather bring back Eric Bieniemy. If you're going to go back to anybody in Andy's coaching tree, it's Eric Bieniemy.
I think Eric Bieniemy proved himself when he was here.
Yes, and if for anything, bringing back Eric Bieniemy will now definitively prove if it was Bieniemy with the success or if Matt Nagy was truly the problem. I think at least you get that definitive answer out of the deal.
Yeah. Tom, no offense by the way, because I don't know a whole lot about the guy. But I will say that Tanner Engstrand, he was brought into the Jets to modernize their offense and to specifically work with quarterback Justin Fields. And they currently stand at 3-10.
If I'm not mistaken, he was a coach for San Diego. Was that who it was? Maybe the
San
Lions
Diego.
Wells Vagina.
Appreciate the 2, Tom.
Look, I mean, he could be a good hire. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd have to look further into that. I'm not going to say you're wrong, but I'll look into that. Tiger Atlas or Romastama with the 5 bombs says today's game was low stress because I just knew, I knew Andy and company would take another dump, but there's no suspense, so that's it's cool or whatever. Yeah, I know what you're saying, dude. Like, I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I didn't even find myself wanting to watch the game, and I have no interest in watching the next 2.
But
like
you
zero.
have to.
Yeah, I have zero interest. Like, I would almost rather do anything.
Go to the dentist.
I would rather go to the dentist than to watch these.
Dude,
next
I tell
two
you
games.
though, as bad as it is, never missed a Chief game in my life. Don't plan on it.
Not going to.
I'm going to
but,
watch
I mean,
every single
if I've
thing.
ever
but yes,
thought
it's
about
tough
missing
to
one, it's now.
find.
You know?
Yeah, it's tough to find the positive, especially when the Chiefs aren't even using the games for what they should be used for, which is to look at the future a little bit.
Yeah, that's the only thing I was actually excited about today because I thought we'd see some of the young players. But when I figured out real quick that they weren't going to do that, I was disinterested. Didn't care. Well-Turd with the 5 bomb says, by the way, Jalen Royals had a 5.2% drop rate in 2024, less than Rice. Brown is sitting at 3.2%. Neither receiver is in their scheme. Yeah, I mean, I know that Jalen Royals, he didn't really have a drop problem in college. Yeah, I mean, just to compare, Rashee Rice, 9%.
Yeah, he was like a 9 or a 10. He was up there.
Brown, I think Brown could have been better utilized in our offense. And I think he would have been if it wasn't for that injury he suffered in his first preseason game, in the first snap. That kind of put like his career as a Chief kind of on this weird back burner, and I don't think it ever got to where they wanted it to be. Because if you go back to that training camp there, they were heavily focused on Hollywood Brown.
Right. Steve, a lot of people are asking about OCs. I appreciate that, Will Turd. A lot of people ask about OCs, though. John Gruden, that's a name that we see popped up all the time. What do you think about Gruden as OC?
So look, man, I'm gonna start it with this. It's not gonna happen. Now that I've already accepted in my heart that it's not going to happen, it would be cool. I think John Gruden's a good coach. I think he's a good offensive mind. I also think that John Gruden would tell Andy, hey, this ain't working. Quit being stupid. They've known each other for a long time. They're both very smart. I think John Gruden is up on that level with Andy Reid. I don't think he would feel like he had to kiss his ass like Matt Nagy does. John Gruden's been there, done that. I think that would be good, a good back and forth for the team. However, I just don't think it's going to happen. Like, Mike, I know you said you've heard or speculated that he could be interested in the Michigan coaching job. I know I'm pretty sure when he comes back, he's probably going to want to be a head coach. Would I do it? I probably would give it a shot, but I just don't think it would happen.
I mean, Gruden did he runs like a West Coast style offense.
Yeah.
That's what he always did. They had the same principles with the, but he did a lot of ball control. He did a lot more running than Andy Reid's going to like. He did have a lot of spread concepts and RPO, stuff like that. That's what John Gruden does. I kind of want to get away from the RPO, though. I don't like the RPO. I think it's past. It's time.
Yeah, I think so, too.
But I think John Gruden would be fine. I don't know if he'd take the job. I don't know if he would. I don't know if Andy would offer the job. Now, they are the same coaching tree, correct? They've coached together before.
Yeah.
So you do have that going.
I feel, honestly, I would compare, I think John Gruden would be like a wiser Eric Bieniemy.
Oh, so I was going to ask you that. Would you rather have John Gruden or Bieniemy if it come down to those two?
Gruden.
You'd rather have Gruden over Bieniemy. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And the only reason I say that is because I think
That's
they're very
a good
similar.
poll question. Can we run that poll question?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to end the poll we had up, Mike. I had a poll up this whole time. 600 people have voted on this poll, by the way.
Let's go. What do we got?
Are you starting to get concerned about the Chiefs' future?
I'm going to guess at least 60% said absolutely.
70% said yes.
More. Okay.
That's very telling because I feel like kind of the sentiment across Chiefs Kingdom all this season has been like, yeah, it's a bad year, but we'll be right back in it next year.
Right.
It's just been bad luck. Dude, what we've seen happen over the last 2-3 weeks since the Texans game has changed our entire fan base into thinking like, dude, we're in the shitter for a while. We got to figure something out.
Right.
It's pretty wild. So yeah, let me put that poll up. I want to put that poll up.
That poll
to
up.
answer
That's a
your
good
question, while I'm putting the poll up, to answer your question, I think that I would take John Gruden over Eric Bieniemy because I think they're very similar.
Yeah.
I think that they are both very very opinionated guys. They're very strong, like strong-willed, like hard-headed personalities. They're going to say what they're thinking. They're going to push back on Andy. They will check Andy if Andy's making dumb decisions. I think they're both willing to tell him. I don't think that they're going to be trying to be brown nosers like Matt Nagy.
Yeah.
But I do think that John Gruden's been in the game a lot longer than Bieniemy, and I think he's a lot wiser. So I think that he's seen more. He's been there. He's done that. He's been a head coach. John Gruden won Super Bowl, right? With the Bucks?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think he did. This guy's been there. He's proven. So yeah, I'm taking him over Eric Bieniemy. But Bieniemy would be, I would be okay with that. I would not be mad whatsoever if Bieniemy come back.
Right. Hey, we got 280 likes. Get it up to 300. We're going to give something away. We're going to give you a Christmas gift. We're going to do a giveaway. I see in the comments somebody wanted me to look up the offensive coordinator of the Rams, and it's Mike LaFleur. So Mike LaFleur is a Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah,
descendant.
Matt
It's a
LaFleur is too,
Shanahan,
right?
right? But here's what they do well, right? They do a lot of play action passing, which I think the Chiefs need more of that in their game.
They like them fullbacks, baby.
He schemes players open a lot, right? He's got different intricacies within the offense. We've seen it. He will use younger players. We've seen him do it with Puka Nacua. He drafted Puka Nacua. So, I mean, they're using the guys there. He also does an outside zone running game, which is what Andy and them like to do. They like to run the zone. So there are concepts there for Mike LaFleur to fit in. Now,
we've talked about that with Mike McDaniel.
Do you think LaFleur would leave an OC job in LA to come to an OC job in Kansas City unless you said you're going to get the head coaching job in 3 years if we win a Super Bowl?
Well, that's another thing you have to look at too, because there's a very good chance that the Rams win the Super Bowl this year. So are they going to leave, off of a Super Bowl win in LA? Maybe.
Possible. Well, I mean, more than likely he's going to get a head coaching opportunity.
Right. And I mean, like you said earlier, if there's anything enticing about Kansas City as far as coming to Kansas City, it is to be an OC for Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's one of the only things we got going for us. But the poll's up, guys. Go vote on that. Who would you rather have as an OC, John Gruden or Eric Bieniemy? Would like to see it. Also, like Mike said,
let's take formal guesses. What do you think? What do you think the chat's going to say? Let's take some formal guesses on this before it happens.
They're with me, baby.
You think Gruden? Okay.
You going to go against me?
I'll just say EB just to be different.
Okay. You're going to lose.
But I feel like, they probably want more. Well, I feel like EB, Chiefs fans have a soft spot for ex people. They're just like Veach.
Well, I mean, honestly, he was good. Like, Bieniemy was good. He was good.
So I do think Bieniemy holds a high place in Chiefs fans' hearts.
Even with me, though, I think Bieniemy can kind of rub people the wrong way. And I think that there were times...
Hannah wants the passing coordinator, not Mike LaFleur. Okay, let me see who the passing coordinator is.
Oh, she said the name.
You want Joel Blameyer part 2, huh?
She said the name, bro. I saw it. Where'd it go? Nate Schillhouse.
Oh, Nate. I forgot about Nate.
Nate.
I'll look him up. Let's see what he's got to offer.
All right. Well, while you're looking up Nate Schillhouse, I got a 10 from Huckleberry Radler here. It says we can throw shade at Veach, but personnel is a coaching decision. We couldn't get D-Hop the ball. Pole for release and has been playing almost as good as Taylor. This is a coaching problem. I think it's more of a coaching problem, Huckleberry. Definitely. I will throw a little bit of shade at Veach just because I think that his free agency has been questionable. I think that the signings he's made have been bad, and I think that he's missed out on some good players that we could have probably got for similar contracts that we gave to bad players. So I think that Eric Bieniemy has missed the mark. To me, I would give him a green check on the draft, even though there's been some stinkers. I'd still say overall he's been decent at the draft and made pretty good decisions, but I would say free agency has been an absolute bust for him. And I think that has to change. We've got to start getting more proven players in here that have been there, done that, and we know what they can do, and then just throwing darts at a board all day, because that's essentially what the draft is.
Yeah. I agree. So Nate Schillhouse, let me get to this really quick. He coached at Iowa State from 2018 to 2023. Now, if you remember, Iowa State started to turn it around there. They were a lot of spread offense, if I can remember correctly. And he also coached Breece Hall in that time. So there is a link there. He had to recruit Breece Hall. So Breece Hall's from KC. He had to come in. He had a little bit. I mean, he might be something. I feel like he's going to be a rising player or a coach that people are going to want to look at OC. So, I mean, it's a name to watch. He specializes in spread concepts, RPOs, motions, and QB-friendly progressions. It kind of mirrors that college offense. So, yeah, it's just tough. You never know what Andy wants. I don't know how much Andy's willing to go outside the box.
Yeah, same. Mike, JB blowing it up today, baby. You hear that train rolling in? 20
JB.
freaking gifted memberships. Let's freaking go, JB.
JB, you know what you get for that?
Feliz
Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad.
JB.
Let's go, man. JB,
Dude, JB
you're
gets
killing
it.
it. Mike, JB, you know what? Email us, JB. allchiefedup@gmail.com. We're going to send you out something nice.
We can see something
Something
nice.
nice.
You know what else? We hit 300 likes.
So we're going to get
So we're
something
giving
else.
away something to the chat. So don't
Let's go,
go
baby.
anywhere if you're
you
watching.
got one of the million gifted memberships that JB's put out today,
JB,
you better thank him in
awesome.
the chat. Let's go. Growing the ACU crew is freaking awesome. If you guys didn't get one of those and you would like to be a member of the ACU crew, you can go to join.allchiefedup.com, or you can hit that join button at the top of the screen there. Depending on if you're on Apple, they might make you pay a couple more bucks, but it's $4.99 a month subscription. So, I mean, I know you're wasting $20 a month on Planet Fitness that you don't go to, probably $20, $25 on a car wash you only go 2-3 times a month, all kinds of other stuff, some streaming services that you don't watch, you know, like you're not going to miss $4.99 a month, baby. And you're going to be able to get in on our members only live streams, get giveaways. We've been giving away signed jerseys, footballs, all Chiefed Up merch, all kinds of stuff. So get in on that action, man. Let's go.
Appreciate you, JB. Look, let's take one pause. We got a bunch of super chats to still get to. So if you,
We're going to get to all of y'all too.
we're gonna get to
We'll
every
get
bit
to
of
every
you.
last one. So
we've almost been
already-
on for 2 hours, but we'll stay
be
with
here.
you.
Yeah, we'll be here.
So before we do that, let's give away something to everybody watching. We hit 310. We're at 309, 310. Put in hashtag free is all you got to push in. Hashtag free. I'll put it in
Hashtag
first.
Free, ladies and gentlemen.
Look, I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes or 6 minutes. So we'll just do it 10:50, which is 9:50
Spam the chat.
Central. Spam it as much as you can if you want. I'll have Nightbot to pick something. We'll send you guys out something. So don't go anywhere. Just keep spamming that, and then we'll take
It's a
some super
mystery
chats.
gift.
Steve, did you get this one here? I see Tiger Atlas, but did you get Huckleberry?
Yeah, man. Had a whole damn conversation with Huckleberry.
Gotcha. Okay. The one about Pole,
baby.
right?
Yeah,
And
Brett
Beach's
Beach.
personnel. Gotcha. Okay, just making sure, man. Didn't want to skip nobody.
Yep. Romasama with a 5 says this proves the Dynasty was 95% Mahomes. GOAT conversation revived. It should never be gone. Look, man,
He should have jumped to the top of the MVP charts today.
let me tell you something, dude. People are trying to kick Patrick Mahomes while he's down because he's been kicking their team's ass for 7 years.
Absolutely.
8 years. They're trying to kick him while he's down. It's very, very shitty because, like, here's my thing with Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is not only a generational football player. Patrick Mahomes is a great person. Patrick Mahomes is awesome, dude. He's like the perfect role model for a kid. He's a family man. He says all the right things. He's a God-fearing man. Like he's always doing right by everybody. He puts up with a lot of shit. He's had to have people attacking his family. He's had to have people pointing out every bad thing his family does and demonizing it. And like Patrick's always held his head up high and he's always stayed above all that and just worked hard and been the best at what he does. And he catches so much shit from everybody about everything. And they're trying to kick the guy while he's down. His coaching staff let him down. His team let him down and got us to the bottom of the barrel, like I mentioned earlier. And not only that, it got him hurt. The dude's now trying to rehab a torn ACL and a torn LCL. And what does he do? In true Patrick Mahomes fashion, he tries to get ahead of the game. He's spearheading it. He's working hard already. He literally got the surgery done within 24 hours. He's already been in his knee 90 degrees. Patrick Mahomes is going to kill this freaking recovery. He's gonna get through all of it. He's gonna come back stronger than ever. And I'm so sick of people talking shit about Patrick Mahomes and just shitting on everything that he's done and talking about how he shouldn't be in the GOAT conversation. Don't ever mention him with Brady. Dude, he's played for 8 seasons. He has been the starting quarterback for 8 seasons. And that's counting this shitty season. Counting this season that sucks ass. Patrick Mahomes has played for 8 seasons. And there is not another quarterback ever in the history of football that has done more than him in 8 seasons. Not
Absolutely.
in any stat, not in any win column, not in any Super Bowl column. I mean, the only one that's even tied him is Tom Brady. And he even beats Tom Brady there because he went to 5 Super Bowls to Brady's 3. Like, dude, y'all cut that shit out, dude. Patrick Mahomes does not deserve the disrespect. And he has every right to be in the GOAT conversation. Until Patrick Mahomes don't do jack shit for the next 10 years, he has every right to be in the GOAT conversation. So let's just cut that out. I'm sorry I went on a rant, but it just pisses me off. It really grinds my gears, Mike. I don't like it when people talk about my boy, my homeboy. It makes me sad.
Quit picking on him. He only has one leg right now.
Leave Brittany alone.
Leave Brittany alone.
Let's go.
Look, let's get on to the next one here. Next one up, we got people are asking if we've skipped their chats. We have not skipped anything. There's just a ton of people, and me and Steve keep clicking the same button at the same time. If we've not got to it, there's just that many in front of you. Tom Flora Base with a 2-bomb says Chiefs playing their way to Jeremiah Love. That would be great. I just don't see the Chiefs drafting Jeremiah Love in the top 10. I feel like that's a little rich. But they could trade down.
I don't think, dude. I know a lot of people are wanting it. I literally wanted Travion Henderson if he fell to us towards the second round this year. And a lot of people were like, oh, well, that's never going to happen. They're never going to draft a running back that high. Keep that same energy because they're not going to draft one that high.
Hey, look, if they trade down, that's the winning formula. Trade down, get more picks, get who you want. If it's Jeremiah Love, now look, I don't know if you can get Jeremiah Love. He might go before top 10. He may be a Genty kind of guy. Who knows?
It could be kind of like at least a Jahmyr Gibbs situation where you think he might get to them in the first round, but he doesn't. Yeah.
I mean, we'll see how the draft thing plays out. Jeremiah Love could end up coming out and testing horribly and fall. Who knows? Slam and Sammy with a 2 says former Rams fan, first year not in the division. Oh. Sammy, you should have told everybody he's a former Rams fan. They're going to get you for that one.
Can't help it, you know.
Appreciate you, Huckleberry, for becoming a new member.
Let's go.
Huckleberry's the man. Another 5 from Tiger Atlas says Sky Moore's thriving out from under Andy's mismanagement. That's also a little bit of a Dave Tobe kind of thing too, right?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Dave Tobe ruined that guy. We all know that.
Yep. Appreciate the 5, Tiger. 5 from Hannah says, let's be honest, Pat's as stubborn as Andy. He'd rather have the ball in his hand versus a running back. Maybe the ACL will change this and he'll stop being. Well, that's a true comment here because Pat's not figuring out the thing as well. Yes, 6 and 7 yards is cool, but you'd rather have 3 or 4 from a running back to keep that defense honest, right, Steve?
Where's Pat getting this from, though? Pat's got Andy up his ass in his ear all the time, telling him to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it goes both ways. But I agree. I think Pat tries to do too much, but I think he gets put into that situation.
Steve, before Pat got injured in the presser where Andy kind of looked like he was throwing Pat under the bus, saying they're going to call more this, the RPOs, I think they did 36 more within the next 2 to 3 games before Mahomes got injured, and Pat threw the ball 35 times out of 36. So Pat does have his hand in the pot a little bit there.
Well, he likes take that away from him. If that's a problem, quit running RPOs. It's that simple.
Yeah, quit with RPO. Well turned with a 2 says, my hot take is blue chip wide receiver top 10 in the draft, Jay Smith. There's a lot of draft guys here. Again, we've not really got into the draft yet.
And that's the wide receiver that you mentioned the other day from OSU, correct?
Yep. Yeah, a lot of people like him. A lot of people like the Tate kid out of Ohio State. There's a bunch. We're going to get into all that. I'm not too wanting to really jump into draft stuff right now. I like to let the draft process play out and all the bowl games.
We're going to get there.
We'll get there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Hannah with another 2 says unpopular opinion. Tobe needs to go before Nagy. It's not unpopular, baby. I said it too.
I think Steve said that earlier.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think that's a good thing to do. Mike, our boy Peter Ortiz showing up, the legend himself, says maybe we are seeing a reset. I think you have to see a reset, Peter. Like we're to the point now to where it is reset. Like there's no retooling this team right now.
Does it feel like there's been a league-wide reset? You've got the freaking Chicago Bears and the Packers game starting to mean something.
Well, what you've seen is these teams. You have these teams that have been not very good. They've been drafting a lot of high draft picks, and they've been building their team the correct way, and they're modern. They're with the times. They're with the times of the NFL. They're going along with it.
They went out and got Ben Johnson, right?
Andy being stubborn has got us to where we are, and he let the game pass him by. That's all there is to it. And that's why you're going to have to see a reset, Peter. I totally agree with that. Thanks for the 25.
Appreciate that 25, Peter, man.
Our boy Flapjack with the 2, y'all.
Flapjack did jinx us. He tweeted today and brought up an old tweet where he said Veach missed in the draft. He's setting us up for failure in 2025. And I think Flapjack is the reason we suck this year.
He's either cursed us or he's a damn Nostradamus.
Look, I tweeted that out today. I said, whoever cursed us this year, I want to find out who it is because I want to go rip their soul out.
I tell you, this has been this season from hell. It really has. It keeps getting worse. How does our backup QB get his ACL torn the next week?
Dude, Minshew actually went back out and played on a torn ACL. That's more coaching.
Did they confirm that, by the way? Did anyone confirm that?
I don't know if it's been confirmed yet, unless it's been since we've been on air, which has been all night. But dude, how crazy is it? He went back out there. Like, coaches missed the fact that this dude's got an ACL injury and he's back out there? What is going on? Even the trainers can't get it together this year.
I'm going to try to find out just real quick, see what this thing says, if anybody's confirmed that or not.
Okay, Hannah with another 20.
Not officially.
It's not. He's got to do the MRI. Hannah with another 20.
Hannah
then
with a 20,
we're gonna
baby.
give
Let's
this
go.
away. Everybody, we're 2 minutes late, but we want to get to Hannah's 20. Guess I wasn't clear. Andy was doing the same things when we were winning. He shouldn't be fired after one bad season for 8 good ones. We need new ideas from an OC, the one that will ride players like the enemy on execution. Absolutely. Yeah. Andy's got to have a little bit of grace. I don't think you fire him after one bad year, but you say, look, Andy, you've hired all these players that have got us into this position. We've got all these coaches. We got to start cleaning house a little bit. You got to do that. So appreciate that, Hannah. 20 bomb. Let's bring up this thing. Everybody's been spamming.
Hashtag free, baby. Hashtag
So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and roll it. Here we go. Whoever's name pops up, what you want to do is you want to email us at allchiefedup@gmail.com. Let's pick a winner.
And email us. You send your shipping address.
Yeah.
What we got?
Uh-oh. It's come through.
Going so nuts, I can't even see it.
The chat is going nuts. But it says, congratulations, Dennis, 5114. Is it Dennis?
Dennis.
Or Denise? It's Dennis.
Dennis. Let's go, Dennis. The menace. Email us, allchiefedup@gmail.com. Allchiefedup@gmail.com. Email us your shipping address. You just won yourself a nice little mystery present for Christmas.
A little mystery gift for Dennis.
Let's go.
I wanted to bring up Dennis on the screen, give him some airtime, but the chat's going so nuts.
I can't click it. It's going crazy.
I can't click it, bro.
I can't click it. It's okay. We can click this. Revenant with the 5 bomb says, do y'all think if we draft Jeremiah Love, this will unlock the deep ball again? Also, do y'all want the Chiefs to use it on a running back or a D-line? Okay. So I'll say this. I don't think that is a surefire thing. I don't think any running back is automatically going to open up a deep ball. I think as long as Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback, that teams are always going to play that same cover 2 shell defense. But the only way that we can open it back up is by achieving a running game that's successful. The problem with that is Andy Reid. He won't invest into the run game.
That outside zone, inside zone, the whole zone scheme, in my opinion, just does not work for our linemen. I feel like our linemen, I feel like, does it not feel like we draft gap run blockers, and yet we try to force them into a zone scheme?
If we could take the word zone out of everything we do, offensively and defensively, we'd be better.
We'd be much better off.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate the 5, brother. Well-Turd with a 2 says, OC suggestions for me are EB, Kafka, and Kubiak. I think all those are good options. I'll say that. Kubiak's been with the Seahawks this year, killing it, right? Of course, Kafka, he's in the Andy Reid coaching tree.
Yeah, he was a QB coach here.
I think,
so not
Mike,
bad.
rank these. 1 to 3. How would you put these in order?
How I'd want them?
Yeah. I'll see if it's the same as me.
EB, then Kubiak, then Kafka.
Same. Agreed. I think that's where we're at. But good choices there, Well-Turd. Hannah with the 2 says, I said look at Rams pass coordinator, not LaFleur. Yeah, that's how much you guys have been going nuts.
Yeah.
Trying to catch up.
We're that far behind, but it's okay. We're going to get through you.
Up. Dude, when did it start doing this? It put it over here.
Oh, I did that. I finally got it, and I flagged it for you.
Look at you. Dennis won. Dennis won, baby.
Dennis.
Email us, allchiefedup@gmail.com. Allchiefedup@gmail.com. We need that shipping
What should
address.
I send out, Dennis? Should I send him out like a new Tesla, or?
Oh, yeah.
It might be a little rich for me, but we'll figure something out.
No, Mike, put them together something nice, you know. Also, want to shout out the real Chris Marshall, the real Slim Shady. Please stand up. You're a member of the ACU crew. Let's freaking go. Welcome aboard.
Dude, you guys have been
Killer.
Honestly, we thought we were going to get on here tonight. We didn't go
everybody
live
done
directly
gave up.
after the game. We didn't go live directly after the game. Steve had to work. I didn't want him to come straight home and just boom. I felt like everybody was in a bad headspace right after the game as well. Wanted to give it time to marinate. I actually wanted to take time for myself to process.
Bro. Yeah.
Because I was angry. If you guys caught any of my post-game
Your
instant
short-
reaction,
Your short was great. You pissed off everybody because you're like, fire him. Fire them all.
Look, that's an instant reaction, and that's how I felt. But, I mean, you process it, and you're like, whatever. I mean, look, do you want real or do you want fake? Because I can have somebody go script it and edit it for me like all these other channels. Which one do you want?
Yeah. We'll get some dude in another state to script it for you, and we'll just read it. And
I'll
then
just read it.
Then he can edit it and throw it up.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like, I'd rather be real.
Here's what it is, man.
Dude, I think if you're a Chiefs fan today and you honestly didn't have that reaction that, like, you're just pissed off, I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Because I've been here for all of it. You can't say, oh, you're just a new fan. That's not true. I expect a team in a dynasty to play like it. I'm sorry, but we got a lot of veteran leaders out there.
Yeah,
they
dude.
sure as hell didn't care.
Well, you kind of hit the nail on the head earlier. And real quick, Drew Q here says misery loves company. That's why everybody's hanging out, man. That's cool. We like being the, therapy session for Chiefs Kingdom. That's what we're here for. We're fans show for the fans. It's what we started as.
Absolutely.
We still are. And I know we've said it probably 5 times tonight, but we are literally the top independent Chiefs channel on YouTube.
Google told us.
Yeah. Yeah. Google said so. No,
Google
but for
told
real,
us, Steve.
If you see a bigger Chiefs
Google
channel than
liked
us, if you see a bigger Chiefs channel than us, they are what is considered part of a multi-channel network, or some kind of organization. Every one of them. We are not. It's just me and my brother here doing the thing 100%. And we do
the
it,
Lord's work.
And we do it because we literally started this because we said, hey, we talk about the Chiefs every day between me and you. So let's go ahead and, just do it through podcasts. And then that turned into YouTube. And, dude, we've met some of the coolest people.
And to find like-minded people. And I believe showing raw emotion is being a fan.
Yeah,
I don't know if you could consider yourself a fan of something if you don't have a little bit of raw emotion. Like, if it don't move you to be a little pissed off sometimes, then what are we doing? Are we watching cheerleading or what are we doing?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, man, every channel that you guys are saying, I'm not going to point anybody out, but every channel that is not...
Well, here's what I'll tell you.
Yeah, if they have more subscribers than us in their Chiefs channel, they are part of a multi-channel network, or they have some kind of management, or they have 25 editors. Like, they all are. All of
100%.
them. Every one of them. Even if you think they're not, they are.
They are 100%, yes.
Yeah, so
and
that way
I'm
we
not
don't have
knocking
to...
them. Not knocking them.
That's
I'm
okay.
just saying independent is independent.
We're not saying they're not good. We're not saying they don't do good stuff, or they're not good people.
Yeah, like everybody here.
Yeah,
have
man,
a good time. Cool. We all get our news the same way everybody else gets their news.
Yeah, man.
From Adam Schefter.
Chief Concerns, they do all their stuff, man. They're independent, too.
Chief Concerns independent. Yep, absolutely.
Yep. Pepe says, tell the dispensary can't work late when football is on. So, it's funny. I love how y'all are still going without working at a dispensary. But no, man, I normally don't work. Like, I make sure that I don't have to work both jobs at the same hours. I normally am pretty good at that. Today, I missed the mark on that. So I think some people don't believe that you should just get Christmas Eve off work, and I had to have it off work, so I had to sacrifice this crazy game today. That was such a tough decision for me to pick whether I would rather be off for the Chiefs-Titans matchup, the historic Chiefs-Titans matchup, or Christmas Eve with my family.
Is it true that
a tough decision?
Is it true that our current government right now is trying to make the day before and the day after Christmas a national holiday as well, so people get 3 days off?
Yeah,
but I don't know if that runs into private companies. Private companies can probably still do what they want. That just means more federal workers get off, and we don't get mail, apparently.
Mike Rich Cooper says, if you're not pissed or concerned, check your pulse as a fan.
I'm with you, Rich. I feel like you got to be a little angry. I mean, even if like 2 hours later you're eating your Mexican food like I was, and you say, man, I was a little out of line. I don't want to fire Big Red, I still like him. I still have a cheeseburger with Big Red. But it pisses you off that Big Red's allowed this to happen under his watch, doesn't it? To hire Connor Embry, bro. To have Matt Nagy here for 3 years. And look, to hire a running or a wide receiver as your running back coach because you coached him in Philly. Come on. It's not a good old boys club. We don't need this.
Yeah.
Let's
I
get
agree,
better.
man.
Make the team better.
Totally agree. We got our boy Jacob in the house with the 2, baby. He said, outside of Andy, clean houses. I'm right there with you, dude. I'll give Spags a pass too. But there's a caveat with that. Drop the zone shit, Spags. Also, if you ever pull another Najee Johnson or Tamari Connor on me and you don't learn your lesson after a couple games that these guys are not NFL level players, then we're going to have a problem. If you could fix that.
Dude, how funny was it?
We're good.
I wrote today, Gunnar Ham, backup tight end at Texas for the majority of his career.
I thought he still played at Texas.
Literally dragged Chamari Connor 5 yards up the field. And I said, Chamari Connor wouldn't be playing on any other team. And his freaking cousin or his burner account come on here.
Nick Liddy, was it you? Dude, I'm sorry. Chamari Connor's not good.
Nick, were you the burner that was coming after us today and telling us we're a horrible channel because we think Chamari Connor's not a good football player?
Dude,
like,
he's
what
bad.
are we watching out here?
I don't dislike Chamari Connor. I think he's probably a cool person and all.
Probably a
and
great
I wish he was doing better. I'd cheer him on, but dude, he's not good. He's been
ain't
getting
no-
roasted.
He ain't no nickel corner.
He's
Quit.
been getting roasted.
Boy, he been roasted up ever since.
I think if you want Chamari Connor on the football field, you have to make him a safety and leave him there. That's
Bro, I don't know what you do, but yeah, just don't have them covered any wide receivers. Why y'all so loving? Like, why is there a bunch of Chamari Connor
I was trying
lovers
to
all of a
see.
sudden? It's kind of
okay.
a joke, right?
Okay. No. Nick Libby said he was saying that he needs to stop with Chamari Connor.
Oh, okay.
100%.
Nick,
100%.
Nick, I thought you were the burner on X that was coming after us today.
Pepe says, should Clark Hunt give John Dorsey a call to see his interest? Dorsey drafted the core of the Super Bowl teams. I'll say no. And the reason I say no is because John Dorsey puts every team he's ever gone to in cap hell and then dips. That's why he is so good at what he does, because he comes in, he did it with the Chiefs, he did it with the Browns, and he did it with who was the other team? There's another one. He did it with
Who did
the
Dorsey? It
Lions?
was before the Chiefs, wasn't it?
The Lions.
Oh, was it the Lions?
Yeah, Dorsey has stacked every one of these teams to the point to where they can be competitive for 5 years, but watch out.
Yeah.
I
think Brett, for all the hell that people like to give Brett Veach,
Brett does a decent job.
I'll say this. He drafts above average, in my opinion. Now, here's one thing Brett Veach needs to stop doing.
Right now, Richie.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
But here's what I'll say. We're $40 million over the cap, but that's taken care of very quickly by Patrick Mahomes. That was a good contract from Patrick Mahomes. I honestly think you may look at Chris Jones' contract either this year or next year. They may keep it this year if they want to try to get out of it next year. I don't know how that works. But he don't put a lot of dead years on it like, Howie Roseman. He keeps everything. Now, look, he's had some sus contracts. Like, honestly, I love I love Trey Smith, but I think that was a little too high of a contract.
George,
I like Nick Bolton. I think it was too high. I think, George could have been a little high. Jawan Taylor was atrocious.
Contract was bad.
Yeah, the linebacker we signed from Dallas a long time ago, he was horrible. Anthony
Hitchens.
He's got and then the one that he wanted to stand firm on out of everybody was OBJ. And I know everybody hated OBJ, but for some reason Mahomes liked him. We won a Super Bowl with him.
He trusted OBJ a lot more than he did a lot of the other left tackles.
He did trust OBJ a lot. I don't get it, but he did. But that was the one that Veach just wasn't having, bro. But it is what it is. But I say Brett Veach, he does well for, he don't get us too bad in trouble. He drafts decently. I do think he's done enough. I think he's done good enough. No, he's better than Try. I think he's one of the better GMs in football. Yeah. And I think that he's gave Andy Reid the pieces, but Andy Reid's mismanaged them. Well, even if you were to look at, say, Cam Thomas and Joshua Uche, he tried to give Spags some pass rushers, and Spags says, can they set the edge? Can he play pass defense and zone? Then he's not playing. Right. And that's ridiculous.
Yep.
Just flat out ridiculous.
So here's my thing, dude. The Chiefs have fell off this year, and everybody knows it's been terrible. And of course, that's what everybody wants to take a victory lap on because the Chiefs have been dominant. But let's be real with ourselves. The rest of the AFC is kind of ass too. A lot of other teams have disappeared. I mean, the Ravens and the Bengals were always in the talk, through the last 5-6 years, and those guys are 7-7 and 5-10. You know what I'm saying? The Dolphins made a splash there for a minute. People thought they were coming on.
Listen to this.
Like,
we've heard nothing but for the past 3 or 4 weeks, every single Patrick Mahomes post, even when he got injured, you had the biggest group of losers come over. They haven't won nothing for 12, 13 years.
saying that they're starting their dynasty.
The Broncos are starting their dynasty, and they started it by losing 34-20 today to the Jags. So successful start of your dynasty. It was over before it started, idiot.
The Chargers are going to win the West, bro.
We literally...
The Broncos suck so bad. They're going to lose.
The Chiefs literally won 3 Super Bowls out of 5, and they told us it wasn't a real dynasty. But they're starting theirs now, and they started it by losing 34-20 to the Jaguars.
Pretty wild.
Get out of here with that shit.
They suck.
Is there anybody more delusional than a Broncos fan?
Yeah. Pepe says Vrabel's won with a bunch of nobodies. I'll give Vrabel his props, and I'll give Patriots their props. But their roster, their schedule is trash.
It's Cupcake City.
They've played the easiest cupcake schedule I've seen in the NFL in a long time.
I honestly think UK football played a harder schedule this year than the Patriots. Just go through the SEC, and you played a harder schedule than what the Patriots played in the AFC East.
Hey. The Denver Post newspaper literally had the Broncos dynasty is here at the top of the front page.
Hey.
Dude, they finally had a winning season after a decade, and they thought they had a dynasty going. Yeah. Round of applause for the donkeys, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, that is hilarious, dude.
What a bunch of morons.
Hey, we got some words. Here's some words for the Denver Post newspaper.
You're a stupid dumbass.
That's perfect. Let's go, baby. Jacob with the 5 says 15 has carried this team for the past 3 years, and he has failed to evolve with the league. That's it in a nutshell. I mean, we can talk about it till we're blue in the face, but that is it in a nutshell. Like, Andy has been slowly, like, the league's passing him by. We've watched the entire league pass him by the last 3 or 4 years, and we've seen Patrick Mahomes make up for that because Pat's the greatest to ever play. And now it's all come to a head. I think that's exactly where we're at, Jacob. Appreciate the 5, brother. Pretty wild, dude. Like, who do you think?
Chris Marshall said the Pats did beat the Bills in Buffalo, though. That is a good win, I guess. I'll give them that.
They also lost a 21-point lead to the Bills, too.
I can't believe that one. I honestly don't think the Bills are that good.
Look, let's talk about that right now.
And I don't think the Broncos are good.
Guys, I want you all to put this in the chat, too, because I want to see what everybody thinks about it. And by the way, before we get into this, we're only going to be here for a few more minutes, guys. We've been here for over 2 hours now. Appreciate everybody. Do us a favor, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, share us with friends, all that good stuff. Shout out Zarda for sponsoring today's live stream. Also, shout out DraftKings for sponsoring today's live stream. Download DraftKings if you haven't already and use the promo code ACU. It'll get you some goodies and it'll help your boys out. Do that. But anyway, Mike, let's talk about this for a second. Who's going to win the AFC this year? Because I have a feeling that even though all the stars have aligned and everything has fell perfectly into place for the golden child Josh Allen to get to the Super Bowl, and he is going to butcher it. Did you see how bad his ass was? He butchered my fantasy league, by the way. I have Josh Allen as a quarterback, and this is playoffs right now. This moron got me 6 points today. 6.
Yeah, versus the Browns.
Ass.
Look,
and he's better than Mahomes.
That was what Colin Cowherd did. He said he's not even been in the same league as that Cowherd.
Yeah, that's right. He hasn't, because Mahomes is that much better than him.
If you get your takes from Colin and Cowherd, quit watching sports. This is what I'll say. I think the Broncos have literally been hanging on by the skin of their teeth, and you see today they played somebody and they got exposed a little bit.
Dude, they can't score enough points against a decent defense. Their offense is trash.
No. I honestly believe if I had to pick somebody right now from the AFC, I'm going to take the Jaguars. I didn't think I would have said this a month ago, but Liam Cohen has got that offense rolling, and that defense is pretty good, man.
I'll say this.
They can get after the quarterback.
I think the Patriots have had too much of an easy walk, and they might end up with the 1 seed, which would still give them an easier walk. But when they have to play three straight competitive football teams, they're not winning 3 in a row. It's not going to happen. They're conditioned to beat suckasses. So they're going to get smacked in the mouth. If they were to play someone like the Texans that just smacks them in the mouth, they're not going to win. The Texans offense is kind of the same to me as the Broncos offense. I feel like they both have great defenses, but their offenses are ass. So I mean,
I don't know if this has been completely updated or not. But I'm trying to look at the playoff picture to see exactly where it's at after today's games. It's taking forever to load. So I mean, Broncos have got the 1. It just says there's 6 available. Okay, here they are.
Dude,
Broncos,
they're not going to have it. I bet you the Chargers end up winning the West.
Yeah, Patriots at 2, Jaguars at 3, Steelers at 4, Chargers at 5, at 11-4, and the Bills at 6 at 11-4, and the Texans at 10-5.
Can I say this something real quick?
Yeah,
that is the weakest ass.
It's bad
playoffs the AFC's had in a long time.
So look, let's just say this all holds. Broncos get the 1. First weekend of the playoffs, Patriots or Texans, who are you taking? It would be in New England.
Texans.
I actually think I would take an upset there. The Texans have got a good defense.
Absolutely. They would. That's it.
Yeah.
They'd win.
Bills versus Jags. At Jags. I'm taking the Jags too. Steelers with the Chargers coming to town.
Chargers. They might
I'm probably taking the Chargers.
That might be his first. I think Herbert's never won a playoff game. That could be the first.
So that would be Broncos versus Texans. I think the Texans could upset as a 7
They're
seed
the same team.
Yeah.
They're literally the same team. That's a coin flip. Yeah.
Right. So then it would be Chargers versus Pats?
No, Jags.
Chargers versus Jags.
Jags,
yeah. Dang, dude, it's going to come down. Like, honestly, I believe the best teams is the Jaguars and maybe even the Texans for some reason. Like, that defense.
Look, man, I don't care
dude,
who
I
wins.
just can't get behind the Texans, though, to win meaningful games.
Real quick, and Jacob, I'm not missing yours. I'm going to get to it, but I'm going to bring this up for relevance. Revenant says it doesn't matter who wins the AFC. The NFC is going to win the Super Bowl.
That's probably
100%
true.
agree. 100%
Yes.
agree. The only chance that someone like the Texans or the Broncos have of winning the Super Bowl is to hope that they slide to the Super Bowl and then they have a just shut down defensive performance. Like an absolute just
right.
boom.
You'd have to have like a Raven style defense with like Ray
That's
Lewis
the only
out
chance.
there.
Right
Which
now,
I could see the Texans being able to pull that off. They have got a monstrous pass rush.
Look, let me tell you how this is going to go. I think, if I had to guess right now, the Rams are not going to shit the bed. I think they are going to win the Super Bowl. If someone beats them, it's going to be the Eagles because they're like a hair in your biscuit. They're annoying. They've sucked this year. They weren't even that great last year. They just had a Pro Bowl team that come together all at one time, had the game of their life against our worst game. Like, it's going to be one of them too that find their way into the Super Bowl. I'd almost bet it. But yeah, man, I don't think that the AFC is going to do anything. Now, if the Eagles were to make it to the Super Bowl, absolutely the Broncos, Texans, Jaguars, any of those could beat them teams, could beat the Eagles. But the Rams, I don't think anyone's going to. I don't know if the defenses are good enough to stop the Rams
just have
completely.
to figure out a way to not get a bad weather game in the playoffs.
If you put
because that's what killed them versus the Eagles last year. They should have won that game, and they got there and fumbled the ball a few times.
If you put 21, let's just say if you put 24 points on the board, you're going to beat the Texans or the Broncos because their offenses suck. Unless you have a complete and utter meltdown like the Giants did against the Broncos, where you let them score 30 points in 10 minutes or something.
Kurt says Phillip Rivers is going to the Super Bowl with the Colts.
Hey, dude, I would pay money to see that happen. I would, dude, actually, you know what? I think it'd be hilarious if Phillip Rivers won his first Super Bowl as a 40-some-year-old man playing for the Colts. That would not be the biggest like shit on the Chargers ever?
It's pretty funny. And the Colts are only one game out.
Dude, that'd be
with
funny.
The Ravens, too. It's kind of wild.
That'd be hilarious. Jacob with the 5 says, if Packers get bounced from the playoffs and move on from Matt, would you want to see him in KC? I'd take LaFleur. I think he'd be a great OC. I don't know if you could get him down to OC. He's probably going to take a coaching job somewhere else because he's done really well. I don't think they'll get rid of him. But if they do, I would take him in a heartbeat. To me, it's the same as we were talking about the other LaFleur. We're also talked about Mike McDaniels before. They're all guys that come from the freaking Chanarak coaching tree, and they run a style of offense that I think is similar to Andy, but they could tweak it and they could bring new things to the table. And they could also get Andy back to, hey, fullback would be cool. Like, we could probably do that. You know, I think maybe that would be like a good marriage would be like Andy with one of those Chanarak guys. Could be. It sounds.
Sammy says Rivers versus Rodgers in 2026 playoffs.
Dude, let's
That'd
go.
be insane, man. You need something because with the Chiefs out of the playoffs, it's going to be a really sad state of football, in my opinion. I think people are really going to be careful what you wish for here. I think you're going to see a lot of bad football. And just like I said, Steve, even though the NFL tried to appease all these people and said, "Hey,
it's bad for the playoffs."
It's not the Chiefs didn't get all the calls. They actively was going against us a bunch. They thought it was going to end. They thought it was going to end the refs narrative. Dude, every game you watch, like on the Thursday night football game, the game yesterday, everything was, this is the most rigged game I've ever seen. It's rigged. It's rigged. That's just what 2025 NFL fans are conditioned to say.
Everybody's
rigged.
An idiot. Yeah.
If your team don't win, it's rigged. So the NFL's never getting over that, but they tried to cave, and they let the Chiefs have it.
That happened.
Yeah, that's true.
Ashton Genty, who I almost didn't start in fantasy football today, but I was like, you know what? I give it a shot. I know Sticks' defense.
I'll tell you this, though. I think it just looks like there's a lot of parity in the AFC. There's
a lot of parity in the NFL altogether. Yeah.
For sure. I think anybody beats anybody this year, which is if the Chiefs were in, the Chiefs were going to the Super Bowl.
Who said
Not this year, probably.
Who said it? Where's it at? Boom. Rich, wouldn't it be awesome to see Rivers knock the Chargers out of the playoffs?
Would be kind of funny. I don't think the Colts get in, though. I just don't see them.
No, I don't think they're good enough at all. Sammy says the Lions fans are terrible about saying any game they lose is rigged. Yeah, they're bad about it.
I've not seen a fan base that don't just say the game's rigged if they lose.
Mike, hell, even our fan base, even me sometimes, I look at these games and I'm like, there's no way the Chiefs,
rigged.
There's no way the Chiefs just didn't give a shit that much, right? There's no way they went to the Super Bowl and just didn't care and just didn't try.
There's been times during our dynasty it felt like some of the games didn't feel right, but not for us.
The AFC
when we lost to the
game.
Bengals and Mahomes come out in the second half and acted like he didn't even know what a football was,
just dropping the ball, just randomly dropping the ball.
Every time we ever lost a meaningful game, it was the same script with Mahomes in the second half, not knowing what a football looked like.
Yeah.
So it feels weird across the board. I get it, but I think you have to be a huge conspiracy theorist.
Also, I think if you're one of those people that say that the NFL is rigged when your team's not winning, I think you have to keep the same energy and say that it's still rigged when your team's winning.
Right.
That's my thing with it. It's like you can't play both sides. Like it either is or it isn't, guys.
Right. It's either the WWE or it's not. So pick one.
For sure. Guys, appreciate you guys being here. We're going to get off here for the night. We'll be back with all kinds of content. We have a live stream tomorrow. So come see us tomorrow during the day. We're going to have a Q&A. So we'll put up a post on our, what do they call it? Community tab or post tab. And maybe you guys can get some questions in or anything after you let this marinate a little bit about the Chiefs going forward. We'll do a Q&A tomorrow for you guys. Then we'll have the podcast out and videos for you all week. Do us a favor.
Games on Thursday this week.
Yeah, it's going to be a short week. Games on Thursday. It's on Christmas. We're going to talk to you then. But, hey, y'all take this week, man. The Chiefs are the Chiefs right now, and there's nothing you can do about it. Enjoy the holiday season with your family. These next few days, don't let it get you down too much. Just enjoy your family. Watch a bunch of shitty Christmas movies from Hallmark. Makes you feel good on the inside.
And watch all chiefed up. That'll make you feel really good.
Watch all chiefed up. That's what we're suggesting here. Hit that like button on the way out if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you're not a member, join.allchiefedup.com. It's just $4.99 a month. It ain't nothing. In the year 2025, that ain't nothing.
This is the fans' channel. Help it grow, baby. Help it grow. Bigger we get, bigger you get, bigger everybody gets. More giveaways.
Right.
That's
also,
what I
guys,
like about it.
There's only 10 more days in the year, which means there's only 10 more days of the 15% off sale in our store. So if you go to merch.allchiefedup.com, we got some really cool stuff over there, and all the proceeds go to helping this channel grow. And we give you the lowest prices we can. It seems steep, but in 2025, I think we're just old. Like we see the prices and we're like, that's high. But we literally can't get them much cheaper. So we're giving you 15% off for the whole store the rest of the year. Just go use the code CHIEFSMIS. They'll give you 15% off. So if you want to grab some swag, Go do that. And once again, shout out DraftKings. Download it. Use the promo code ACU. Shout out Zarda. Get your ass over there tomorrow in Lenexa or Blue Springs. Get yourself an $11 lunch.
Tell them All Chiefed Up sent you to get that.
Let's go, baby. We'll see you next time. Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs.
Wow.